Okay. Show me.
It's a cruel summer. Leaving me here on my own. It's a cruel summer. Now we're gone. The city is crowded, my friends are away, and I'm on my own. It's too hard to handle, so I gotta get up and go. It's a cruel summer. Leaving me here on my own. It's a cruel summer. Now you're gone. You're not the only one. It's a cruel summer. Leaving me here on my own. It's a cruel summer. Now you're gone.
The Rad Pit, for decades the revolutionary force in horror and entertainment.
That's a real rocking tune right there. It's from like 1993 WWF. Like
I loved it.
first. Yeah,
Got me fired up.
yeah. So how you boys doing tonight?
Doing good, man. How are you guys doing?
I'm doing wonderful. I'm doing wonderful. And 3 of the 4s on here, but you know, for the other guy, he's got his own special entrance that he requires that that we play. But we welcome him on here. He's worked with this company quite a bit and many other companies. The legendary Slipster of Style himself.
Slipcase, Michael Slipcase, Michael Slipcase, Michael
Wake up, Slippy.
If slippy with it. Slippy, motherfucker. Slipcase, Michael Felsher. Oh, goddamn. Get slippy with that motherfucker. Make some DVDs. Goddamn, hurry. I want to watch some DVDs. Slippy, Slipcase, Felsher, baby. Whoa, suck it, Slipcase.
Still the greatest song ever made.
Slipcase, Michael Felsher.
I think poor Uncle Bill's computer is like farting out all over the place. He don't know what's going on.
What's going on up there, UB?
Which, we're encouraging people
We
to
can't
donate.
hear you.
It's just all swears. That's why.
When we
he's
do
just
the
freaked out.
videos and stuff.
Look, I
his-
can't see nothing. I don't see a
can't
fucking
see?
thing. No, I don't see you all. I mean, I can see you at the bottom, but I can't see you in the actual video frame.
Can you
What
hear
about
us
now?
at least?
What the?
No, I don't know what the fuck is going on. So I'm just gonna
Oh
watch
my
the
God.
bottom here and hope to God that my computer eventually fucking catches up with everything.
Yeah, I should have warned Uncle Bill and be like, yeah, come in about 5 minutes late because these videos are going to shut your computer down, which,
Dude, I told you you can't do videos. I can't do videos on this thing. It just shuts it down.
Well,
you
then
could-
get a better goddamn computer after all these years. I mean, what the fuck? We do have
No,
the
it says
technology.
no.
he's trying. We're raising money for him on GoFundMe. So,
Hell, I can't even hear. I can't even hear Felsher. Like, I can hear you two, not
You
Felsher.
can't hear me?
that's because
Fuck
we
this thing. I'm telling you, man. Like, I'm sick of this shit. I'm gonna throw it out the fucking window here in a minute.
That would be a neat shot, just your computer flying out the
Hold on.
window. And
I'm gonna have to go out and come back in and pray to God that something works.
better do that because
Probably won't. I'll
this
be
is-
back.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully we can get some donations for poor Uncle Bill so he can. You know what he's got, Felcher? He's got a Google Chromebook.
Those things are shit.
It's
So
probably
they
like
look-
4 or 5 years old.
Oh, that's double shit. That's like, oh my God. That's like shit on top of shit, shit out with shit. That's no good. That's shit shot. No,
No.
shit.
I know. We need to at least hook him up with a modern Chromebook. A new
But
one.
that's still shit, but at least it's newer shit.
Yeah. I mean, it might last at least a couple, months or maybe 6 months
Yeah.
a year.
It might last him a week. So, that'll do his job.
We got plenty of people in here already, over 100 people that's interested in this
There
show
are 100
tonight.
people listening to your show?
Yeah.
Really?
100 people right now on the simulcast. It's Born to Be Rad
Wow.
and Dead Pits, which
All
it
this
should,
time, I just
should
assumed
start
that,
going up, boss.
you had like 5 or 6 folks that would tune in, and that was it. I didn't.
We would still do it. We don't care. Carded or Dention, $2 super chat for Uncle Bill. All right.
Better Commodore
Nice.
64. I have an old Texas Instruments from when I was 9. You can,
Well, those Radio Shack computers that you plugged into.
yeah, the
Tube TV.
Tandy computers. Yes,
Used
I
to
got
play-
an old 386 lying around, maybe, or a 486 or Pentium. Remember when Pentium was hot shit? Holy crap!
Oh yeah.
Came with a 256 gig hard drive, and I'm like, wow, I'll never use up all that space. I have emails bigger than that now.
Now most phones have hard drive bigger than that. Yeah.
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 But anyway, while we're waiting on Uncle Bill to see what's going on, he may have just tossed the thing out the window. We're doing a giveaway at some point during the show tonight.
I want it.
This disc right here, baby. And you just got to stick around. That's all I'm gonna say. And everybody in all the chats are going to be able to participate. All that, the Born to Be Rad chat and the Dead Pit chat and Facebook and everything. So first time we've done a giveaway live like this, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I'm excited.
I couldn't be more excited.
Me
I
too.
know you're excited.
I'm excited.
We got Steve Peekaboo's up late in here. Robert Reams, Alpha Romero. He's trying to kiss your ass a little bit, Slippy. He said it was great meeting you at Monroeville Mall, which
I'm assuming that was for Living Dead weekend, because that would have been kind of random if I'd just been walking around there and someone went, oh, hey, Slippy. Although I'll tell you this, I meant to mention this to you guys. When I was at Living Dead weekend back in June or whatever it was, I can't tell you how many people recognized me from Dead Pit. I mean, it was like every day, 2 or 3 people came up to me, said, oh, Slippy from the Dead Pit show. there was a huge contingent of Dead Pit people at Living Dead Weekend.
Really?
I was stunned. And yeah, I really was. I was just like, God damn, there's a lot of fucking people watch that show.
That's cool. That's awesome.
That
Yeah.
is really cool. Actually, my
Well, I
buddy.
didn't say they liked the show. I'm just saying they saw me on it. I just was like, oh, you're that Dead Pit thing. What the fuck were you doing on that? I'm like, I don't know. It's just,
What would really be cool though is if people come up and start singing your song to you.
they mentioned the song. A couple people mentioned the theme song.
That's awesome.
Let's all be quiet. Let's all be quiet.
Don't make any real fast sudden movements.
Yeah, don't everyone just pretend you can just mouth your words. Don't actually say anything.
He's got that old school loadings thing.
Oh, yeah.
Jack says that you are a member of Dead Pit, Slippy. You don't know this?
Yeah, I guess I was.
You were.
I were well for a while there. It seemed like I was. I see I was on here.
You're on here on a
Right.
semi-regular basis.
Yeah.
I had a big birthday bash for you a couple months back.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. I remember.
But oh, there he is. I see him.
Hey, UB.
Give me strength to not throw this fucking computer out the window. Oh, there we go. There we go.
Yeah, baby. We're in.
Felsher, say something. I hope he's actually saying something. I can't hear shit. He's probably not. He's probably being a douche.
I am not being a dude.
Yeah, there we go. All right, I'm back.
Okay. Did you feed the hamster so he feeds, turns on the wheel, keep your internet going?
Yeah, yeah.
You got that Family Dollar internet going on over there. That's
That's where I'm at. I'm outside Family Dollar right now,
Family Dollar
parking lot
using their
the
Wi-Fi.
It's
Yeah.
actually Dollar General.
Oh,
which
Dollar
is-
General, yeah, not Family Dollars. That's too highfalutin.
We are
Yeah.
getting in Prestonsburg, downtown Prestonsburg. They're putting it together right now. It is Family Dollar Dollar Tree Super Center.
What in the
Whoa.
ever loving
Wow.
motherfucking redneck hell is that?
Exactly.
You got to come down here and visit us sometime, Filter. We
I
can
should
take you
come
out to-
down there. I would. I just it just I would, except I don't want
We can
Why not?
we can show you some heels.
to. Oh shit!
We
Hills.
can
Maybe
take you
a-
up a holler or two.
Yeah, maybe
A
a
holler
string.
and some hills. Well, fuck, I'm in. I don't. I remember when you used to you were doing shots of the parking lot in front of the Dollar Generals and what's going on at the
That was
Dollar
my
General.
favorite thing that Wes ever did. Was when he would just
Yeah,
like
that was
film
some
the dollar
entertaining
store
shit,
and
man.
like,
Look what's going on at the Dollar General tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, that was some entertainment every
Who
night.
gonna die at the Dollar
Especially
General?
around the first of the month, man. Like
Oh,
around
sure.
the first of the
once-
month when people get their
the
money for
checks.
the month.
Yeah.
They're literally pissed off when they have to close. And I was talking to a girl that worked down there and she was like, oh, we can't, we're supposed to close at 9, but we can't close usually until about 10:30, 11 o'clock.
just backed up. out
Everybody
the
wants
door.
their top ramen. It's just-
That's crazy.
Cigarettes and Mountain Dew, boys.
I need my batteries and my Mountain Dew. We got wars to do. Come on, kids.
Warsh.
Yes.
Warsh? What are you, Billy Bob Thornton from Sling Blade?
We got
Starter
wars
pack.
to do.
What you got
Eastern
there,
Kentucky
Warsh?
starter pack, Marlboros, that big thermos size fucking monster drinks, right, Uncle Bill?
Yeah.
And of course,
Monster drinks, yeah. Mm.
meth. Gotta have some meth.
Gotta have some meth.
They sell that there. I didn't know it.
I think it's at the
They
Dollar
do.
General. They
It's
got that
actually-
there at the Dollar General.
Yeah, it's
Dollar meth.
It's in the back.
it's in the back room. Yeah,
Yeah, it's in the
Yeah,
back.
that's true.
You have to ask for it by code. Hey, do you have any software? Why, yes, we do.
All right, so this is going to be a fun show tonight, though. Year 2 of Vestron Video Collector Series, which Felsher has worked on all these, right? Have you done
There's
the...
only 2 that I haven't.
Okay, well, pretty much all of them.
Yeah, but the rest
And,
of them. And the line was it was my idea, but there were several people at Lionsgate who helped push it along and help get it done. So, but because I can't take all the credit as much as I would love to, I can't.
Of course.
That's great though. So you
Yeah.
you came up with the idea for the line?
Uh-huh.
That's awesome, man.
I did. It took a long time for them to, but because there were people over there that were receptive to it, but it's like, in a corporate environment, it's kind of hard to get like a little side project like this going. But thanks to people like Shayla Johnson and Dustin Dean, they were Scott Davidow, and also a whole bunch of people over there that wanted to help. I thought it was a really cool idea, and eventually they got it going, and we've had it going since 2016, I guess, was when we started.
2016.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the second year, and it's fun doing these because there's only like 6 titles.
Yeah,
So we don't have to really speed through them like, some of the Screen Factory shows with like 80 titles in a year or something like that. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. I actually appreciate the 6 because it's like, it's reasonable. It's exciting when they come out. It's, you get basically one every 2 months,
I like that. It's reasonable.
It is because the companies that are like every company's like 4 releases a month. I mean, that's hard to keep up with that. It's tough.
Now with
It's
and we'll get to it in a little bit because after year 2, there was a long hiatus before year 3 began, really. So we'll talk about that towards the end, but a lot of interesting titles to get to. And we're going to talk about each one, talk about the movies a little bit. There's a couple of these movies that I don't think I've ever seen all the way through.
Well, daggone.
That's one of them. Daggone, boss.
daggone.
But one that we're kind of kicking off is, I think me and Uncle Bill and Dana did like a commentary for this not too long ago. So I've seen this probably 6-8 months ago, whatever it was. And it's definitely a staple of the video store era. And it was a pretty huge release. And it's kicking off year 2 on Halloween. Is that correct? It come out? No, wait. Yeah, on Halloween 2017, Slaughter High kicked off year 2.
Yep.
Come on. Come on now.
That was one of the original titles on the
Where's
list.
your copy at, Felsher? You got your copy?
I didn't know I had to bring the copy of the fucking
You're supposed to be prepared. You worked on this shit. Get
That's
your
a
copy
big
out.
thing now. Big thing.
They're all on the shelf. I don't care if I get it.
It was actually really easy just grabbing 6 and coming over here. Usually,
usually have to have probably like a tall stack.
I got
This is all the shit that Kino brought out this month. Fuck. Yeah, Slaughter High. That was one of the original titles that we were going to do in the first batch, actually. But the problem with Slaughter High was, as you know, the history with that, there's an R-rated and an unrated version of that movie, and we could not find any negative elements for the unrated version. We didn't have them vaulted here. All we had was the R-rated version, and it was like, well, we can't release that. So it took a while to figure out where the hell it was, and we did finally find the IP for the uncut version in England. And we went and finally got it requested and pulled, and it turns out they had one of the reels was missing, and they didn't know where it was, and then they finally tracked it. It was just it took a long time, but we eventually got the uncut version, and then we were able to do the transfer, and that's how that finally came together. And everyone I contacted on that showed up, because there's 3 credited directors, and they all showed up, and Caroline Munro did a new interview for us on it, and it was a fun one to work on, and it's such a dirty, scuzzy looking movie that I was when I saw the new transfer, I was like, oh, actually, okay, yeah, it looks the negative looks really clean. It's very sharp and everything, but it's still a nice, scuzzy ass little movie. It just is, and it's what I love about the film. It's the least convincing high school actors of all time. I mean, all these guys are in their 30s. Pretending to be from high school, and they don't even. It's like they're not even fucking trying to make us believe. But
that was in a lot of the movies from the 80s, though. The majority, none of them really looked like they were in high school.
But Carolyn Monroe really didn't look like
no.
She was like a high school
42
teacher,
years old at that point.
Yeah, it was like, come on. None of them did. But and then the only disappointment with that I recall was I wanted to get the recording tracks of Harry Manfredini's score, but they are lost. No one knows where they are.
Felsher, do you remember? This has been, you probably don't remember this, but I remember this like 15 years ago, probably. And we were sitting around like having dinner, and you were like, we were talking about like really trying to guess like movie scores by just like humming them. Yeah.
remember that.
near. Yeah.
You started doing that shit, like making fun of it. Like, I don't know if you're necessarily making fun of it, but it's one of the more like
It gets into your
memorable.
it gets into your
Yeah.
fucking brain,
Yeah.
that's for sure. And it's repeated 5,000 times in the movie.
I'm
It's
kind of shocked though that Manfredini didn't have a copy of that or anything.
he, as I recall, he said, "Was like, I did that kind of really quick and just shipped the tapes off to the company in the UK that was doing it, and that was the end of it." And they're probably sitting on a shelf somewhere,
Right.
but God only knows where. But yeah, but
And
you
there
know,
was
I seem to recall he did an interview for it.
Yeah, it's on there. I was looking.
he's
earlier.
interview, and then there's a commentary
Mhm.
that was done with the co-writers and directors as well.
Right.
Did you
Two
help
of them.
out with that one?
Yeah, I did that, and then there's an interview with the other director, co-writer, producer.
And a lot of
then,
people may not realize the DVD of this wasn't this the DVD that was a VHS copy basically.
Yeah.
It was like a copy of a VHS tape. The DVD.
Oh yeah, the
was.
old the one that was the Lost.
Was this in a?
It was like the cult. It was a
Yeah.
series. They
Was
did.
it? Wasn't there
It's the
something?
same one
that-
there. It was the same one that
My best friend's a
the
vampire.
vampire was on that same line.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Lost films or something. I forget what the name of
Mhm.
it was, but yeah, I'm sure it was because I think you could still see like the dropout lines on the transfer. Because they hadn't done. I mean, that was the first time a new transfer of that movie had been done since 85, 86.
That's what I was saying. That was a pretty huge release because this is the best this movie had looked probably since it came out.
Oh yeah, ever, yeah, by far. I think. Well, actually, I think there had been another transfer done at some point because Arrow brought it out, and I'm pretty sure that there was at least at some point in the years between that, a widescreen transfer of it or something. But that was the first HD that had ever been done.
And
Certainly
we've
the
talked
uncut one.
Dumpster
Christian's-
divers. Yeah.
And
Yeah,
it was in the 8
Yeah.
pack. It was one of the 8
A
packs.
lot of these movies are in those multi packs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We've been slowly going through all those.
Predminator is sending you a donation, Uncle Bill. Hope
Thank
you have
you,
good
Fred.
luck with a new computer soon.
Yeah.
We all hope that, man.
Jesus Christ, it's about time.
If anybody's needing the Vestron movies, though, the best deal right now online is from Diabolic DVD.
I don't know how many I bought off that sale now. Probably 10. Like they're $15
The
right
Lost
now.
Collection. Yes, that's what it's called.
Yeah, with the slip cover. If you want to buy any of them on there,
Which I don't know
Most
what
of
the-
them are sold out now, though.
They're getting them back in. I think most of them are back in stock.
Yeah. That was, because the first couple of waves were pretty expensive, but now they're back down to, they come out for under $20 now, which is helpful.
Yeah, for
Sure,
sure.
yeah.
But any other thoughts or anything, guys, about the Slaughter High? I mean, this is probably one of my top 3 of the Vestron releases, I think.
It was a fun one to work on. And it was just great that we were able to finally source the unrated version properly and get it transferred. And, I seem to recall everyone I reached out to get was there and was available for it and was happy to do it. That was a good one. And I was able to get into the archives and get a lot of photos pulled and scan the key art from the original Transparency. So that was what was used for the front cover. And it was nice to be able to, kind of go back in and really scour through everything to get what we could for it.
Off the top
Now-
of your head, Slippy, like how much did the unrated footage add to the release time?
Not very much.
Okay.
Probably a minute, 2 minutes or so. Because it's really just shots of, blood and shit and guts and the, stuff like that. That's all it is. It wasn't like whole scenes were taken out or anything like that. It was just all the gore that was trimmed down. So it probably only adds up to like a minute, minute and a half, maybe 2 minutes at the most.
Now, when you guys are going through movies to try to figure out maybe what fits in this line or what you guys can maybe work on, does Lionsgate have such a massive library of stuff that you're picking through there, or are you coming up with something to be like, okay, let's see who has the rights to this and see if we can get it?
We're going through the stuff that's in the library. Because
Yeah.
it's such a huge library. There's really no sense of trying to go out and try
Sure.
And there's a lot of stuff that's still in there that we're still going through. I mean, there's a long
Mhm.
backlog of titles that we're.
So,
still-
what is this? Out of curiosity, what does this area look like? Is stuff labeled? Is it like you pretty much have to open boxes?
Well, I
What's
mean,
the
it's
deal?
not just one big room or anything like that. It's several storage facilities all around the country, and there's mainly you look at a list, an Excel spreadsheet, and determine, okay, that might have something we're looking for. That might have something, so then they go pull that
Okay,
stuff.
so it's kind of a scavenger hunt, though.
It's very
not-
much. No, actually,
It's
it
an
is
adult
very much a
scavenger hunt.
scavenger hunt. It's
Okay.
exceptionally much a scavenger hunt and sometimes it's really fun because they'll send me there'll be boxes labeled paperwork and still photos and stuff, and I'll get the boxes as they've been in storage for 30, 40 years or whatever, and I'll find notes and correspondence from Vestron executives dating back to 85.
Wow, that's incredible.
Going, I was like, oh, we don't think this artwork's very good. We agree with you. Come up with something better. And it's like, and it's just funny
Wow.
to look at that stuff, and it's like, wow.
Mhm. You must
really-
find some treasures in there for sure.
Oh, what I love is to find, like, I'll find flattened VHS boxes that were never used,
Wow.
and
Wow.
I'll just find those. I'll be like,
Why don't you
oh,
send me
that's-
some of those? I'd like
Yeah.
to have some for my collection.
And I never take. I mean, I always send everything back except the stuff that I keep.
Oh shit!
You should definitely take pictures of everything though, and then
Save them for
send 'em
future
off.
I'm sure you have to catalog all that, right? Like right
Not
down
really.
like-
So a lot of that stuff is just jammed in there. I mean, it's just the box is literally labeled paperwork. Well, that's kind of vague, But I'm not saying that a few things haven't stayed here that accidentally didn't make their way back in the box. But
Since
No, that's
Distorted
never
Visions has got a super chat up here, I'm saving a lot of the people are asking about movies already, but I'm saving most of those.
okay,
But he's asking for Rocktober Blood since he's doing
no, that one is back with the Sebastian family.
and they're like crazy Christians that are not going to.
I have
Sell
no
it, right?
idea.
That's what I heard. I don't know if it's true.
I don't
or
know.
not.
I've never dealt.
Why do
with
they
it.
have
That's-
Rocktober Blood then? Like, what is the point?
Well, they're the
they
ones that
make money
made it.
on stuff like that.
So you're saying that it's probably never going to get released again. So if we have it, keep it.
I'm not saying that because I don't know. But they.
Which means
It's the
he's
same
probably
family.
staying
They own the
over
Gator Bait movies and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
So I
It's
don't
the
know.
next one in the red shirt home video release, I bet.
No,
Yeah.
Rocktober Blood is
Yep.
definitely not the next one.
Guarantee it until the Lord tells them they need to release one, and then they'll release it.
Yeah.
The Lord.
So is the,
sometimes needs to release Rocktober Blood.
The Trick or Treat release, is that still this year, thinking?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because I haven't heard
Proceeding.
anything really new on it.
Well, no, it's just we've been working. Some things have been a little slow on it, but things are going really well. The transfer is done, color corrected. The DP of the film came in and signed off on it, and continue to get interviews with people. And we just did the new 5.1 has been completed on it, which sounds really good from what I hear. I haven't listened to it yet. I'm supposed to go over to Don May's house and listen to it sometime now, I think next week. And yeah, it's going really well. We got new artwork for it. 3 new pieces of artwork for it actually.
Wow.
It's gonna be a big release. It's gonna be a big
Diamond Pod Edition, you're thinking?
Oh yeah, it's gonna cost probably about maybe $200-$300 if you want to get it. So
It probably will.
yeah.
Well, I didn't know Severin was, I thought it was Synapse that was doing it.
It is
Synapse
Synapse.
is.
Okay, well, you said
I
it was-
mean, it's the Red Shirt Video, but they're distributing it.
right, but
and-
I'm saying that's a Severin price though. $300.
Oh, you're saying two.
Yeah.
Oh,
Listen,
yeah.
you can't.
And
How
we're
dare
gonna
you?
we're gonna do a limited edition slipcover that's only available to people outside of Kentucky. So it's just you're not gonna.
Yeah.
I'll buy mine on eBay.
Oh no, we're gonna ban you from that too. We're gonna be watching
Alright.
any shipments that come into or from your house.
Another super duper on Fatal Games is coming very soon. From what I'm not going to say from who, but I've heard that one's coming. Felsher's not going to confirm it. But,
He's not going to
I have
confirm
no
or
idea
deny
about Fatal
anything.
Games at all.
yeah, we'll see. But yeah, that's one that
We'll see.
We'll
That's so
see.
threatening.
What kind of a threat is that? We'll see about a movie I don't give a
See.
shit about. Come on.
So when it comes out, we'll be like, oh, the movie Felsher doesn't give a shit about. It's
It's
coming
just
out.
like, haha, look, Fatal Games is out. I'm like, wow, fucking who cares? I mean, I just,
That'd be so killer though. On the back of the box, there's like a quote, and it says, "The movie I don't give a shit about." Felsher.
That's
On the
not
back
true.
of
I
it.
don't think I've ever seen Fatal Games, so I can't say anything about it one way or the other.
I have Heavy Metal Turtles artwork, but I have not opened it yet. Maybe I'll do
Oh,
that
baby.
tonight at some point.
Cool.
Thank
Are
you.
we still
sir.
talking about Slaughter High?
Yes,
No,
we're
we're gonna
still
move
on
on.
Slaughter High.
Oh,
See, we
okay.
can take time with
No,
these
we're not.
releases.
I don't know what the hell we're talking about at this point.
Well, you
But-
may take time, but I ain't got that kind of time. I got things to do. I got places to be. I
Got
got
shit to
I
do
got a
tonight.
life.
hookers to order and stuff to do. Come on.
Next
DoorDash doesn't
one,
do hookers. I tried. It doesn't work.
176 people now, Felsher,
Wow.
watching this live, boss. So
It's
everybody,
200.
we're going to
Share
get to
this out.
200 tonight for sure. We got
Tell
Ken
him
in
Slippy's
here.
giving exclusive news over here.
If
we
we
got-
hit
The fuck
200,
I am.
then Slippy's got to tell us a scoop about something.
No, enough with the goddamn scoops. You want some scoops? Go get some fucking ice cream.
Nope. He said it tonight.
I
You
never
get over
said
200,
shit.
there'll be a scoop.
I
Felsher
just-
promised it to the fans.
You and your great value internet over there.
You leave my fucking internet out of this. Get ready to give a scoop.
Well, look
That's
how
all
bright
you need to
and
be
well lit
doing
we
is get
are,
a
and
scoop.
look at all of us have color and we're all well lit, and you're like in this dungeon ass cave. Seriously, it looks like you're broadcasting from the future, trying to warn us about the impending apocalypse.
Well, it's because
He's
he
in
wants
like
to
a
talk about
control room.
he wants to talk about the next release, which so he's getting ready.
Gothic, boss. Gothic from 1986. 87.
You be-
sorry.
You be going for that Gothic look.
I don't
Ken
have
Russell,
Yep,
which his most famous film is still not out,
the devils. Yeah,
but the Gothic got that. I remember the video artwork back in the day, but I don't really recall the movie very much. It's like set in 1800s or something, isn't it?
it's basically the night that Frankenstein was conceived. There were two movies made about this basically at the same time, that and Haunted Summer. But it's basically Percy Shelley and Mary Shelley, and they're all together in this castle and fucking around, and shit happens, and it's just it's very Ken Russell. It's very kind of like everybody goes nuts, and it's very psychedelic and kind of weird, and everyone's just really messed up and weird. And it's an underrated movie, but it's also not a film for everybody. But then again, most Ken Russell films weren't for everybody. You know,
Right. I mean, young Natasha Richardson was in this. Was this her first role?
I don't know if it was her first role or one of her earlier major roles or not. I don't remember. I don't recall.
And Julian Sands, who's in all kinds of odd shit. I mean, that was his career for a while.
Nice man, really nice man.
Yeah, I've heard nothing but good things about him since all that went down. You know,
Yeah, that was really really sad. I interviewed him in person when he was here for Warlock, the Warlock collection, and really just a really down to earth, really nice guy who was just happy to talk about these movies. And I got him to do Gothic as well, but I wasn't there for that one. But he was always really accommodating with his time and just seemed really happy to talk about his work. And he was the type of guy who went for really offbeat projects a lot of the times, or even in the mainstream projects he was in, he would choose very offbeat parts. He didn't go for the standard leading man kind of romantic leading man kind of stuff. He was, although he could have very well done that, he had the looks for it certainly, but he was an offbeat dude, and I really respected his choices. And when I heard he was lost, after about a week, it was like, yeah, this isn't going to have a happy ending, and sadly, it didn't. But,
Yeah.
you know.
Carter Redemption with another $5 super chat. Thank you, sir. Is it true Warner Brothers is too ashamed to release the uncut version of Ken
They don't want to
Russell's
touch it with a 10-foot pole.
Why don't they license it out then to somebody?
I don't know what it is with them. They're just like, we don't want to even touch it.
Didn't they include like was it The Nun or something like that from the movie in like
Space
what the hell
Jam or
was
something
it?
like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Why
was a
do
weird-
that?
I don't know. I don't know. But what were the Droogs from Clockwork Orange doing in Space Jam 2? I mean, it was just like, I saw some of the people in that audience in the crowd scenes, and I'm like, well, that's some odd choices for a fucking kids movie, but okay, you know. I mean, I like this one. Jackson, yeah, Uncle Bill is developing photos.
Yeah, I was waiting on that. God damn it.
Well, it is a dark room. That's for damn. You know, good Christ.
So wait, you're saying that because I recently watched Space Jam 2 because of my son, and they had in the audience it was like all these different characters. You're saying the Clockwork Orange characters were in there?
Oh yeah,
I didn't notice. I saw a lot of them, and I was like looking to see who I saw. I didn't notice them, but that's wild.
Pretty much
right?
every character that Warner Brothers owns is in there somewhere. They're all in there somewhere.
I gotta look for the Lost Boys in there hanging out.
Oh, I'm sure
somewhere.
everybody's in there somewhere.
So why don't they want to touch devils? I've never seen the movie. But I've just heard about
it's the
it.
religious content. There's some content and some imagery in that movie that would be considered extremely offensive to certain people, and they just don't want to go there. They just don't want to touch it.
Interesting.
Which is a shame.
Yeah, I mean, you would think too that like if they didn't, they would just get rid of the title and someone else would do something with it.
You would think. I mean, I know every company's asked for it. I think Criterion's pretty much said we'll give you whatever the hell you want for it. And
wow,
they're just not gonna.
That's insane.
They're just not gonna do it.
All right, we're going to get to the next one here in just a second, but at some point tonight, we're giving away this copy of the Dentist Collection completely for free, as long as you're in the damn United States, by the way. I'm not sending this shit and thing to Denmark or wherever. That international shipping's ridiculous now.
It is. Yeah.
Actually, the shipping here in the U.S. is ridiculous. Media mail for one movie now is like $4 or something. I remember when it was like half that price.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Remember I showed you the other day the boxes I was bringing to the post office? You're like, dude, you're nuts. That came to $89 to ship all that.
It's insane.
I was like, what the hell? Yeah, not good.
But continuing on, the next one up is one that I just revisited not too long ago. Class of 1999. It was also released. These were both released January 30th, 2018.
If you say so, I have no idea what the release dates are on it. Once my due dates are done, I don't pay any attention anymore, so I have no idea when any of that stuff came out.
Right,
so this movie was on it had to be on like HBO and Cinemax 1,000 times. One of those channels, because I watched it like 100 times as a kid, and I thought it was great. Like just the idea of like cyborg. Wasn't one of them Pam Grier?
Mm-hmm.
And one of them was like
it was her comeback movie, wasn't it? Wasn't that the first movie she'd done in a while?
Patrick Kilpatrick and
Stacy
Keach.
Stacy Keach has like he's an albino and he's got
got the white hair,
rat tail in the back.
Malcolm McDowell's in it, and it's got a great cast. I mean,
interesting choice that Bradley Gregg was the lead in it, who'd done a bunch of movies.
True. Yeah, he'd been Nightmare 3 and
Stand By Me is one that I remember him in.
But yeah, it was that movie that I enjoyed working on that. Mark Lester came out, and the guys I really wanted to interview were Rick Stratton and Eric Allard, who did the effects. The robot effects in that movie are fantastic, and they did it. So I got them. I was disappointed none of the cast showed up. I wasn't able to get any of the cast. And some of the people just weren't available, and some people said flat out no.
You mean tell me you couldn't get Patrick Kilpatrick? He ain't. I mean, set the world on fire at that point.
Later on, I found out he would have done it. Same with Stacy Keach, but at the time they just weren't available for whatever reason. So that one was a little bit frustrating. But my favorite part of that was the theatrical art was done by one of my favorite artists, Jim Warren, who's done a whole bunch of other covers over the years, and it had never been used on any of the home video releases. So, but I didn't have a really good. The theatrical poster was a possibility, but it was a little soft, and I was like, eh. So I emailed Jim Warren. I just said, hey, by any chance, do you still have either the original painting or do you have a scan or anything of that class of 1999? And he sent me his only slide. He sent me the slide of it. And I was able to scan the artwork from the slide, and then I sent the slide back to him. But he was just like, yeah, here, sure, there you go. I was like, damn, dude, nice. So that's why we were able to use it for the front cover, because we actually got a good quality scan of it.
Now, I'm not 100% on this, but there was this is a sequel to the 1984 movie.
It's a thematic sequel.
Right.
It's not a.
I was wondering about that.
Okay. This was a huge bomb in theaters. Is that the case or no?
It didn't really get much of a theatrical release because it was Vestron was kind of on its way out at that point, and it just didn't get much of a release. But it did pretty well on home video. No,
and I think it was on HBO and Cinemax. And stuff like
most of it, home video and cable is really where it found its life for sure.
Well, then it
wasn't available.
No, No,
I know somebody that looks exactly like him. You could have interviewed him.
That's not how
playing
that,
at
that's
CHH.
literally not how that works. That's just
Well, nobody would
I
know,
mean,
and he
yeah,
would
it's
probably
the
never
age of
see it.
AI. I mean, nobody would know.
Yeah.
So, but doesn't Class of '99 have a sequel to this, like Class of '99 2?
yeah. There's
Isn't
Class
there
of 1999 Part 2
Oh
with
my
Sasha
God.
Mitchell.
Now, do you
Oh,
is
I've
there
gotta see it.
is there access to that? Because that would be
We
kind of
could
cool
have
to
put
get
that
in.
out. We didn't.
Put it
God
like-
damn, you and your hoity-toity nonsense. Put it out. It's got
Put it
Sasha
as,
Mitchell
you
in
could
it.
have put it
My
as a
hoity
special
toity
feature.
nonsense.
That's right. Hoity-toity
Yeah.
bunch of bullshit.
Like
Sleepy.
a
Put it as
double pack
special
or whatever.
feature on this. Just
Sure.
not even a double pack. Just put bonus film on the back, right?
He's like-
Bill on the back.
Here we go. Here's Slippy. He's like, oh, we ain't gonna release that old stupid Class of '99 too. But
No,
my
actually, I brought it up.
my best
I brought-
friend's a vampire. Let's put that shit out.
Daggone!
Actually, Part 2, I don't know if it's a really great movie or not, but it's got some great stunt work in it because the guy who directed it is a guy named Spiro Rosatos, who's one of the best stunt coordinators in the business. And so he did like the Maniac Cop films, and he's really just, his stuff is just really amazing. And so he directed the sequel. So it's actually got some really great stunt work in it. But, it was kind of a non-starter because we would have had to have gone back and done a whole new transfer for that. And it was like, are fans going to want to play a lot more to have both classes? I mean, it was just like, nah. It's just
Well,
tough.
because I don't think that has much of anything since VHS. I think a company out on the overseas did like a box set with 84, this, and the sequel, I believe. Some kind of like box set or something like that. But other than that, I think I've only seen it on VHS.
Yeah, I don't think it got much else. Here.
Old school dead pit guy Indy Phantom is in the house. What's going on, man? Thank you for the Canadian super chat. See, $2.79 Canadians actually more, right? Or
Yeah,
is
it's
that
like
less?
$12 here.
Okay.
Ooh.
New shark exploitation doc on Shudder gets a thumbs up. So if you're into the shark exploitation, it's on
Who is
Shudder.
it?
Yeah. So continuing on here,
It's a big
anything
one.
else about 1999, guys? I think overall everybody kind of digs the movie. It's
Yeah,
pretty
it's
decent.
fun. It's fun. It's well made. It's really well made. It's got some really great robot effects and practical. I mean, the way they did some of the practical effects and the action is really good. Mark Lester is a really good action director. He always has been, and he brought that to this movie as well.
And this was another one that was in the multi-pack
It was, wasn't
deal
it?
back
Yeah.
in the day.
That one that we went dumpster diving for like, well, how many Walmarts did we go to that night? Like 7, 8 of them. I don't remember how many we went to.
It was like for a couple of hours, 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah.
I don't think we ever found the one that we were looking for.
No,
either,
we
which was
did
like
not.
the blood,
Diner one. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk about some of these releases later because there's a couple I'm curious if they can get out again. Some of those movies. Nothing like not like a bloody murder set or something like that, you know.
No.
That would be so killer. What's going on over here? You got Wes speaking to someone over there.
Sarah's always interrupting me in here. I apologize for
What was
Shit.
that?
He's telling her off
What was it?
silently.
I can't say anything. She'll smack me,
Gently.
but yeah.
Yeah.
That's just.
She bought this very expensive dress and she just ruined it. So that's what she was telling me.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm telling on you. How much was that dress? It wasn't too bad then.
Yeah, how much
Just
was
a-
that dress?
It's like a
$50.
Vinegar Syndrome release. Yeah.
$50. It was a Walmart dress. All right. So continuing on. What are we on? Release 4. And I watched this one last night. Well, most of it. Because I didn't really remember. I remember it was like, was this a sci-fi original movie or
I
something?
think so. I believe it was.
And I just assumed that it was bad, but this movie's actually pretty damn good. I was shocked.
Beyond Re-Animator.
Beyond Re-Animator.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's fun. It's I don't think it's up to the first movie, but then again, so Bride of the Reanimator wasn't either. But it's fun and it's got some really creative effects, and Jeffrey Combs is always entertaining as hell. I mean,
Mhm.
it's fun. It was a good premise too. You know.
Yeah, and the transfer on this was fantastic too. I thought it looked really good. I don't
I
know.
thought it looked good too. Yeah, I mean, it was that one and Dagon were a little bit troublesome, because they
Dagon?
were owned by a
Dagon.
Dagon or whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Dagon, boy.
Dagon! But it was those were owned by a Spanish company, and we wanted to do transfers, and some of the elements were kind of not in the best of shape. They were troublesome in that regard. But they have both turned out good, and Brian Hughes is great to work with. He's just I've now worked with Brian like 6 times.
Now, speaking of the Re-Animator franchise, though, Bride of Re-Animator, who did? I don't have that on Blu-ray or anything.
That's Arrow.
Arrow and
did it.
Second Sight did those. I think Second Sight did it too. But yeah, Arrow did it.
Arrow did it in the U.S.
Mhm.
I don't know if there was an old
I think it was.
Pioneer DVD or an Artisan DVD of it.
Yeah, I've
here,
got it on DVD. It's one of
but
the.
it got redone for the U.S. by. Well,
I
Arrow
think it
did
was
in the
Arrow.
UK. Arrow, and I don't know who. I don't really remember, to be honest with you, who did it here in the U.S. And I think somebody did. Maybe Arrow had it out for the U.S. I don't know.
I think Arrow had it in the U.S. I have a
okay.
overseas steel book with 1 and 2. I don't remember who did that though. It could have been Second Sight maybe.
Yeah, I think Second Sight did both films together. I don't know. It's
Umbrella?
hard to keep track, but it
Rob
has been
says
remastered
Umbrella did a
and
release
come
of
back out.
Oh, Umbrella maybe. Okay.
They might have, yeah. They could.
Indie Phantom, another super chat, $6.99 Canadian. this
Hell
time,
yeah.
man. Uncle
Get
Bill. I
some
can
Tim
almost-
Hortons.
Yeah, we're very
No,
very
computer,
close.
Uncle Bill. Computer.
Oh yeah.
not donuts and coffee.
It's a new coffee.
He had just picked up the Earth Girls Are Easy, Fine Ass Gina, and the underrated Extreme Prejudice, which
Yeah,
is
those
great.
are fun. That'll be in the last wave, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Earth Girls Are Easy. That was another one that was in one of those multi-packs, wasn't it?
Mhm.
We just need to go back to them multi-packs and we'll know every single one they're going to put out eventually. Like
I think
that's the
there's
key.
only like 2 or 3 from all those multi-packs that we haven't done.
Yeah,
Um,
one's Ghoulies, right?
Ghoulies go to college.
Fido, bulls. Fido's
Fido's
one.
not there.
You
That'll
got
be your- that'll be
the
your
Bloody
first one,
Murders. Bloody
Yeah,
Murder 1,
Bloody Murders,
2.
I don't know about that.
Who
Come
owns
on.
those?
Bloody Murder sucks ass though. You can,
Bloody Murder. You
What
got
are
to
you
get the whole set.
No, seriously though, does Lionsgate have those still?
I think so. Yeah.
Why don't you just do a box set of those? You can get away with that. Those
A
movies,
box set of Bloody Murders.
or just like a
Yeah.
3-pack, like you did the Silent Night, Deadly Night one.
please don't listen to them. Like those movies fucking
Think about all the stuff that gets released now that we stay up until midnight to freaking everybody's like, I'm
Don't
waiting for
even-
this. There's not
That's
that much
true.
different than Bloody Murder. I mean, Bloody Murder was one of those movies that back in the DVD days, it was like kind of sought after because it was kind of hard to find.
Are you
You know,
not
they didn't have
seeing some of this shit that people are buying from Vinegar Syndrome?
That's what I'm saying. That's why I feel like
Yeah.
it's not.
Hey, I got to
for-
pick my battles with Lionsgate in terms of which titles we get to do. I'm not going to bat on the fucking Bloody
Here's the
Murders.
thing. Here's what you can
You're
do.
gonna be like, we're
Don't
going to
even
sell
have
it
to-
for $11.
I
for
want to
3
know
movies.
what would your sales pitch be for the Bloody Murder trilogy?
Here's what I.
Here's
what
my sales pitch on the Bloody Murders. Hi, Lionsgate. I've lost my mind. Do you want to release the Bloody Murders?
No, be like, we heard Friday the 13th might be getting rebooted, so this would be a perfect way
Time to bring out the Bloody Murders.
This guy's got a hockey mask. We can
Yeah,
put this
Yeah.
remember that?
Yeah.
Where it looks like
Look at
a
it,
fucking
man.
hockey mask you bought at Kmart. Let's get
Yeah.
that.
The
Wearing
you could
a
be like-
Dollar General hockey mask.
here's the deal. Here's what we're going to do. How many Bloody Murder movies were there anyway? 3.
might have been 3. Yeah.
Okay.
There was
So-
12.
Grindhouse cuts, right? Which means you don't have to remaster it at all. Just use whatever there's there, scan it, put one commentary on it, $10. I guarantee you it'll sell well.
Or,
He's
or Bloody
guaranteeing-
Murder. Bloody Murder meets Scarecrow box set. Remember those?
Scare- I would love a Scarecrow box set.
Oh God, you
This
guys
is-
have got to get out more. You really got to get. Oh, man.
Dude, those
Wasn't
are
what's her name? Wasn't what's her name in those?
Tiffany Shepard. Yeah.
Yeah. We
What
gotta
about
get the
Scarecrow
box. We gotta get-
Slayer?
Yeah, that's gonna be.
What
that'd be
the-
a-
one
It's
with
just
Kurt
hard to get a
Angle in
little.
it.
No, guys, come on. It's just hard to get a little nostalgic about movies from 2000. That's all. I'm just. I mean,
We're
granted, it
starting
has
to
been
see more
23
of them
fucking
come out,
years,
though.
but
I know, isn't that scary when people like are talking about these movies and I'm like, yeah, those are kind of like a newer horror. They're like, no, that's like 20 years ago. I'm like,
because
what the hell?
I got to tell you, man, the apex that movie was with. It was like Bloody Murder 2, Severed. Oh God, Children of the Living Dead.
Mm.
You got to put that out. What?
No.
Where the hell's the special edition of that?
Nowhere. Are you out of your mind?
Children of the Living Dead's a classic, Felsher. What are you talking about?
Oh, so you haven't seen it?
No, I
Yeah, I think he had it
actually-
on VHS back.
I
in
had
the day.
yeah, it's pretty bad. I'm sorry, I was just kidding around.
Anyway,
Yeah, there's a lot of people asking about different titles and everything, so I'm saving those until towards the end of the show. And
well, that sounds like
also,
fun.
yeah,
He just
Star
keeps
Wars
saying no,
Rebels.
no, no.
Yeah.
That's how it always goes. No.
Guess
don't know,
what?
Don't know.
Fucker, you're about 15 people away from giving us a scoop.
I'm not
Oh,
giving you
yeah.
any goddamn scoop.
You
You said
said
at
it earlier.
200.
You
No,
No,
promised.
I did not say it.
You
When did
did.
I
Go
fucking
back.
say this?
Somebody rewind the tape. Go
You
back.
can rewind all the tapes you want. You can Zapruder that shit. I did not say it.
You know he ain't gonna give us a fucking scoop. He wouldn't even give up my best friend's a vampire, and we didn't know what the fuck it was.
I could have. You, if you had guessed it, I would have confirmed it. But you failed to guess it.
We didn't have any idea it existed.
I didn't know
Felsher.
what the fuck
How
it
we gonna
was.
fucking like?
I should go look at those. I have the whole set of those like lost drive-in movies that he was talking about earlier, which that was
Yeah.
part of it. I should see what else is in that line over there.
Well, you
A
can.
lot of
if you
people are
want,
buying
man.
that though. I've heard from all kinds of people that bought that.
It's actually
That's
not.
true.
It's not bad. It's actually a pretty good little movie, to be honest.
I mean,
I
it
think
did
it's a
really
very
well.
sweet
wasn't
film.
it?
I think it's a sweet film. It's got an. And I was happy to work on that one. That was fun.
Let me ask
Yeah.
you this though, before we get into the next. So the VHS releases from Vestron, what's the percentage of those that Lionsgate still owns, you think?
Probably about 10 to 15%.
Really?
At
Okay.
the most. Because I mean, well, actually, it's probably a little higher than that. If it's Vestron Picture stuff, it's almost all of it,
Mhm.
because those were all owned or bought by Vestron in perpetuity, or were made by Vestron. But any of the stuff that kind of came before it that Vestron licensed, a lot of that stuff has gone away. Most of it has, because they were 30-year deals, 20-year deals, 10-year deals, or it was just they didn't have it forever.
And so, like, Lionsgate's acquired a bunch of stuff over the years, though. The Artisan catalog,
Mm-hmm.
what would you say
Trimark catalog and
the percentage on that stuff is? Because there's a lot of those Artisan movies that
about
are
half
still.
and half, probably about 50. I mean, it depends, because Artisan, most of it, but Artisan also encompasses Live and IVE and all the iterations thereof, and a lot of those have expired. But like for example, Silent Night, Deadly Night, 3, 4, and 5 were made by or financed by Live Entertainment back in the day, so those stayed with Artisan, and then stayed with Lionsgate because those were owned and made by the company. Whereas some of the other titles were just like Fright Night 2 and things like that were license deals that expired at some point.
So you're
Hey,
saying there's a
Sleepy.
chance for Rumpelstiltskin? That's what you're
So you're saying there's a chance?
gonna get some Rumpelstiltskin on.
I don't even
Blu-ray.
know where. I think Rumpelstiltskin's over at Viacom with the Republic catalog. That's not over at Lionsgate anymore.
So the Fright Night 2 thing that Cinema Museum is putting out. You know anything about that, Slippy?
Nope.
Damn.
It's from.
Well, we'll get it
35
in
millimeter
We'll get it in
film,
like
that's what I heard.
a year. So it'll be like a year
Yeah.
from now. We're gonna probably get that thing. Yeah, sadly.
There's probably going to be a lot of pissed off people when that they get
The
that
German
too, I bet.
Kaiser edition. Yeah.
Guy said, a dude who loves movies said we need a Vestron release of Leprechaun. In many ways, the Leprechaun collection was sort of the first unofficial Vestron release, because that thing's fully loaded. I put tons of stuff on that, so there's really nothing more to be done for that. Those movies.
4K box set from Vestron.
Hell yeah, do it.
Well,
We haven't done a
what do you?
4K yet.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you released
Yeah.
the collection on Blu-ray, right? The Leprechaun one, the
Mhm.
Blu-ray set.
Mhm.
Okay, so what are your thoughts on Walmart's? They're going to release the Blu-ray collection on Steelbook.
That's true.
They just announced it, and that they're
They
going to
did?
include like some. Yeah, they just announced it like 2 days ago. They're going to put it out on Steelbook, Walmart exclusive, with all new artwork, and it's going to add in like another one of the newer movies that wasn't in the original
Oh,
collection.
Leprechaun Returns, probably.
Yeah.
Um,
So I don't know if you had any idea about.
It's
that
just
deal.
a repackaging, so I mean, I wouldn't really know much of anything about that.
Sure.
They did one recently for Maximum Overdrive as well.
I think that's
Yeah.
Walmart's, like, they do those gimmick slip
Yep.
covers every year.
Mhm.
They're just upping it a little bit this year with the.
But I
All
didn't
right,
know
so
about.
you're
I
saying-
didn't know about Leprechaun. That's cool.
So you're saying it's
Hey.
probably the exact same edition that we already got.
Oh, I'm
except
sure
with
it
the
is,
addition
because
that-
they didn't do anything new for it. No.
Theoretically, Sleepy, if Vestron was going to release a 4K, what would that 4K be?
The hell kind of a question is that?
I'm just saying,
Probably
like,
gonna be-
if they were going to release a 4K for the first time for their debut edition,
Okay. there's no way I can answer that doesn't somehow get misinterpreted as Slippy just said they're doing a 4K of such and such.
Exactly, motherfucker. Now answer the question.
Let's just answer this, because if they were to pull Screen Factory,
Yeah, I was going to say their first 4K is going to be something they've already released. Probably.
what would be your pick
He's
as
passed out.
the 4K?
No, I'm
He's
not
bad,
doing
he's
that
bad.
because it's going to get out there that I have. No. No.
I'm asking you what your personal pick would be.
Oh, I have a personal pick. I'm not telling you what it is. No, because that's
is
just
it
going
the
to
guinea pig
No,
series?
I can guarantee. No, I can guarantee you that it's going to be. I'll say, here's what I would choose if I were in charge, but I'm not, and I'm not making an official announcement. And I say blah blah blue, and then the next thing you know, everyone on Blu-ray.com goes, Felsher just leaked that it's goddamn blah blah blue, and then everybody around it, and of course the disc father says, I have their own inside information that the blah blah blue's coming out, and
That
then
guy
the next
just
thing you
makes
know,
shit
Dawn of
up.
the Disc is like special announcement, blah blah blue coming to 4K, and then Lionsgate's calling me up, going, why the hell did you announce blah blah blue? And I'm like, I did. So no.
You know, we wouldn't keep that in this show, Felsher. I mean, we would just edit that out. of this live
bullshit. Bullshit.
And we would never try to trap you into saying something.
Bullshit.
Oh my god.
Bullshit.
Anyway,
Anyhow,
Where did we leave off? I've completely forgotten what title we were
Dag on!
boy.
dag on.
there you go.
The only thing I know about this is H.P. Lovecraft and Stuart Gordon directed it, right?
Yep. And there's a story that's called Dagon that it's based on, but it's really kind of an interpretation of Shadow over Innsmouth, which is something that he had been wanting to do for a long time. So there's a lot of that story in there mixed in with other. It's kind of a melange of different Lovecraft tales in there. And it's a good movie. It's very challenging, very different. It's Stuart Gordon, so there's always a lot more going on that meets the eye. And some of the digital effects were probably not the greatest in the world. And but at the end of the day, you do what you can. But it's really twisted and weird at times too.
There's fish people in this, Felsher.
There's fish people.
Fish
yeah.
people.
Of course.
Yep.
Gotta have some fish people. It's H.P. Lovecraft.
My favorite thing on that was getting to work with. I think that was the first cover I did with Justin Osborne, because the video DVD art was terrible. It was just
That
like,
monster or whatever.
Yeah, it's just a girl with her mouth going, and that's it.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah.
like, well, that's not going to work. And I really wanted something that sold the nautical aspect of it with the sea creatures and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so I convinced Lionsgate, let's do custom artwork for this one. And so I reached out to Justin Osborne, who I'd done the Resurrected with for an overseas company. And I said, come up with something better that makes this look like the movie that it actually is. And then he certainly did.
Well, I think that cover definitely helped it quite a bit, because of all the movies, well, aside from like Parents, maybe, like that one was kind of questionable to me. I mean, it's a little bit of a risk, I would think, for them to release, but did that one sell pretty well as far as you know?
I don't know.
Oh, they don't tell you.
They don't tell me about the sales figures. I don't really ask either.
Because I mean, most of the movies, this was one of the first. Well, it's semi-modern. What year was it? 2001 when it came out. So,
do you know this, Felsher? Do you know which one of all of these Vestron titles did the best?
I don't know for certain which one did the best, but I can tell you that the ones that I know did very, very well. Chopping Mall did very, very well. Return of the Living Dead 3, I believe, did very, very well. Maximum Overdrive is huge.
Yeah, I imagine that one. Yeah.
That was huge. Let's see what else. I'm sure there are other ones in there that did really well as in true, but I mean, those are the ones that immediately come to mind. There's been 30 titles now, so it's hard to believe that there are 30 of them. So it's hard for me to remember them all.
Mm-hmm.
But those are the ones that kind of stand out. The Gate, I think, did well.
Oh yeah, that would do one.
Yeah, that was. I think that'd be the good 4K.
No, but the biggest one by far, the biggest one by far, no, actually, the biggest one by far, and that was Chud 2, Bud the Chud. That one went through the roof. That
Fucking
was the
blew
biggest
the
one.
roof off.
The Chud.
No, that was not
Bud
the biggest
the
one. by
Chud.
far.
Bud the Chud.
No, I think you're right. I think if there was going to be a 4K re-release, Gate would probably be the one they would choose.
No, it'd be
That's
Chud
Right.
2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think, Sleepy? That'd be the one.
I don't know. I say it's Blobbity Blue.
I know people are already writing
Breaking
it.
news.
They're gonna
Blobbity
talk
Blue.
about
There is no Blobbity Blue.
Bobbity Blue means it's the Gate coming to 4K.
I'm gonna get a call. I'm gonna get a call tomorrow. Because what the fuck is Blobbity Blue, and why are we doing a 4K of it?
Lionsgate denies rumors of Blobbity Blue.
Yeah,
Come
and
bring
then
it
Blobbity
in.
there'll be one of those shots. If there was a movie, it'd be a shot of the camera pulling up and me yelling to the sky, "Dude!" But no, so yeah, but Dagon did okay as far as I know.
There you go.
Now, another library that a lot of people may not realize that Lionsgate took over, I don't know how much of it, again, was a lot of the Anchor Bay stuff, right? Didn't they take a lot of that stuff?
Well, they own the Anchor Bay company, what was left of it, yeah, at that point. But most of that, 99% of all the stuff that Anchor Bay had in its heyday is with other people now.
But, I mean, there's a
about the-
lot that Anchor Bay did that isn't available again. So
Mhm.
there's a lot like Pin and all that stuff are still kind of sitting
Yeah, they
around.
kind of went back. Well, Pin is shuffled off to a couple different companies. But yeah, a lot of that stuff, like they had the New World catalog, they had this catalog, and then all those some of those are with other companies now. So it's just like, yeah. So they have the name and anything that Anchor Bay did sort of in their later years, some of the Anchor Bay picture stuff, but the heyday stuff, the classic stuff, none of that really is over there anymore.
Hey, Sleep, let me ask you about this. There is an interview on here with Mick Garris, who's actually interviewing Stuart Gordon.
Mm-hmm.
Now, did you like put that together, or was that something that already like existed?
As I recall, we put those two guys together, yeah. Because Mick had done John Carpenter for something, The Thing, I think. And it was either Stewart's idea or Mick's. I'm trying to remember. But yeah, we put Stewart and Mick together to talk about that. That was fun. That was really great. Mick's a great guy anyway. And he knows, Lord knows he knows his shit. So it was like, and he knows all these guys. So it's like it's two friends talking. So
I tell you what's weird about him. If you go back and look on YouTube, you can find interviews of him in like the early '80s
oh yeah, he
with like
shot,
Jamie Lee
like,
Curtis and
Oh
like,
no, because he would do like public access shows, and he was also on the set for a lot of these movies. He would do EPK, like kind of like the original EPKs for a lot of these movies from.
What?
Puss me out! Come on.
I love Mick Garris is Nice Guy Productions is his company. He's definitely a nice.
He is a really nice guy.
motherfuckers on this chat. How dare you? sir?
Speaking, I love Mick Garris. I don't know why I thought that was funny.
It was funny, but you know what? I will give Slippy a lot of credit, though. I mean, when you look at the price point of these Vestrons, you get the slipcover, great movies in the line, and there is a lot of features on this. Like even Dagon has like a lot of features going for it. So you're getting a lot with these titles. Like this is literally like a Scream Factory Collector's Edition in essence, right? But the price point is what, like $12 versus
Now it
$38
is,
or
Back
whatever.
then
You know?
it was more like $30, but
Now,
that
what was the reason they made the switch to do that? You don't even know?
Don't know. That was.
I didn't know if it was something to change it up, or
I think they were just, because I think Walmart wanted to take some of them. They probably didn't want them at a higher price point, and that's my guess. I would just be guessing. I really don't know.
Do you think having them?
Those are decisions made beyond my pay grade. So
Right. Because Best Buy has them too, so you wonder if that was a better deal having them at retail anyway. So they're like, "Oh, we'll bring the price down if they're going to be at some of these stores," you know.
if Best Buy barely even carries Blu-rays anymore.
Right.
That's
true.
I saw a photo someone posted of the Blu-ray section of their Best Buy. And it was hilarious. It was one big long rack that was almost entirely empty. Nothing left, with like 3 Blu-rays left out of this entire long rack that would have normally held like 1,000 Blu-rays. There was 3 of them, and one of them at the bottom was the Silent Night, Deadly Night collection. And I was just like, God damn it, really? Okay, fine.
That's funny. My Best Buy's not too bad. I mean, it's not like it ever was. I mean, back in the day, it was insanity. But
there's ones
mine
around
is
me that don't even
decent.
carry Blu-rays. They completely eliminated the section. They're just basically appliance stores.
I think that one of the differences too, though, they may have changed the distribution on these with the second wave, because These initial releases, were they actually carried in Walmart or anything?
Some of them were. Some
Were
of
they?
them were,
Okay.
yeah.
Because I couldn't remember, but it seems like they were more readily out there in like all of the the big box retailers,
Yeah.
the newer ones at least in the last couple of years.
Recently, yes, they certainly have been.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing Dagon in Walmart.
Daggone!
Dagon!
Well, they were down in the South.
That's
Dagon! We gotta
Dagon.
get some
There's
Dagon!
bound to be a movie that's called
Dagon!
Dagon for real.
Everybody sit tight though. We're gonna give away the dentist here at any moment, so y'all need to stick around and shit because this is a giveaway. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hop up the dentist there, Felsher. I actually really enjoyed both of these movies for some reason.
Oh no, they're fun movies. I going to the dentist for me is like a thing. So watching
Right.
that movie, it's kind of like, oh god. And I had to do the featurettes and everything, so I'm like, I don't. It's just like, oh Jesus Christ, HD for these, not a good call for. But those were fun to work on. Those were a lot of fun. And I loved the artwork that Devin Whitehead did for it. It was just. You sent that over and it was, oh my god, this is disgusting. There's no way that they're gonna let us do this, but they did. They were actually cool with it.
That's cool.
Yep. So at some point tonight, boys, stick around, everybody. So Dagon on July 24th, 2018. And the next one after that wasn't until October the 23rd of 2018, but it's a pretty huge one. Maximum Overdrive, directed by Stephen King, which is one that I do not have.
You don't have it.
Not on Blu-ray. I want to have to get the Steelbook edition that recently came out.
No.
Nah.
I got that one too, just for the hell of it. Because it's
I
got
didn't think
ACDC soundtrack, man. I mean,
I
come
didn't
on.
think the Steelbook looked all that great, to be honest with you.
No, I didn't think so either. I was not impressed at all.
No.
Well,
Some people say cucumbers
Look at
taste
this.
better.
Look at that art, though.
Now that was the story. That's my favorite release I've ever gotten to work on the Vestron line. That one was really, because I have a lot of personal connection with that movie, and getting to go down to Wilmington. I spent like a week and a half down in Wilmington interviewing people, and they all had such really vivid stories and went to the locations, and I got to pull some photos from the Wilmington Star archives and everything, and it was just a lot of fun. It was just an awful lot of fun to be able to revisit that movie. And I wish Stephen King had participated. I knew he wouldn't, because he has commented several times that he was suffering from the serious throes of an alcohol and drug addiction at the time, and he doesn't even really remember much of it. So it's like, okay, he won't do anything about it. But we got a lot of people that showed up for it, and it was just, I don't know, there was just something really fun about being able to go down there. And here, the featurette called The Wilmington Factor that's on there is one of the ones I'm the most proud of, because it really delved into what the film community was like down there, which formed right around the time that movie was made. Because Dino De Laurentiis opened up a studio down there a couple years before. When he went down to make Firestarter, he liked it down there so much, he said, let's just open a studio down here in Wilmington. And Maximum Overdrive was one of like 30 movies that got made during a 3 or 4 year period down there. And it just employed all these craftsmen and people who never had a chance to work on a movie before, got to show what they could do. And people had a lot of fond memories of it. So it was great to be able to highlight that period of because it's slowed down out there a lot since the heyday, and the studios are still out there, but it's just not quite the same as it used to be. So that was really, for me, very special. And
did you ever try to get ACDC or anybody
Yes.
from ACDC? Okay.
Yeah, it just didn't go anywhere. 'Cause
Nah,
at the time,
those-
one of the members had died, and Brian Johnson was having some. There was just no one was really available. So we got a guy named Murray Engelhart, who's kind of their biographer, to talk about them a little bit, which I wish we'd been able to do more about, with that. But that's one of those. It's one of those situations where you just couldn't go any further with it.
I mean, they've got so much money too. Like, I mean, something like that.
Yeah,
Unless they were on tour or something, and you could get them that way, maybe.
I don't know. It just wasn't a lot of response back on that. It just wasn't.
Yeah.
unfortunately.
What about Ozzy, by the way? Because the Trick or Treat, you know, he's
doubt
doing conventions.
Well, I
man.
saw that, yeah, and I talked
Yeah.
with Sean about that. I just don't think that's gonna, because I don't think he was only on the set for a day, and it was like in the middle of like a
yeah.
whole bunch of other. So I don't know if he really has much, if anything, to say about it. So
I 100% doubt he was sober on that set too, at that time period.
everyone has.
I
Great,
was in
I
a
will say
movie.
this: everyone
Huh?
I've talked to has great memories of him. They really said he
Oh,
was
yeah,
really
sure.
sweet, really nice, and but he said he was in and there at it in like a day because they brought him in, they put him in the suit and tied his hair in the back. They shot the thing, did a quick photo shoot, and he was gone. So it was just very, very quick.
Mhm.
Yeah. So
Gene Simmons.
Now,
No go on him either.
well, he's on tour right now with Kiss's farewell tour again.
Goddamn. I hope they actually stay gone this time. Like I
Farewell
love
tour, the
Kiss and
20th
everything, but
anniversary.
it's time to hang it up.
Well, the only concert I've ever been to in my life was a Kiss concert back in like 1997 or 78, which
that's
was their
Psycho
first
Circus.
farewell tour.
That's when I saw him too.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so now it's like the 30th anniversary of their farewell tour. So it's just like,
Right.
they've been going away a while, but I will say this. I mean, I'm not much of a Kiss fan, but they put on a hell of a show.
Oh, yeah.
It's a lot of sound and fury.
Well, if you're not much of a Kiss fan, then how come that's the only concert you ever went to?
The reason, I don't like concerts anyway. There's just too crowded, too noisy. It's just, that's not my thing. Even as a kid, I never liked doing it. But I went because a friend of mine really wanted to go and she didn't want to go alone. So I was like, okay. So I went and I finally got my hearing back about 3 weeks ago. It was because I was sitting, it was in the Charlotte Coliseum, which no longer exists. And we're in the very back of the Coliseum. Of course, it's a covered, stadium. And so the sound is coming out and then reverberating around the back of the stadium and hitting me in the front and in the back of the head. So none of the music sounds, I can't understand anything anyone's saying or singing about. And it's just like drilling into my skull. And after about 10 minutes of it, I'm like, I'm going to die here at the Kiss concert, listening to music I don't particularly care for. Oh, God, get me the hell out of here. So, yeah,
Sleepy's in there and he's like, hey, y'all want a taste of the alcohol?
it was just not.
I'll tell you one of the funniest things. And Uncle Bill was with me at this show. This was a bar show in downtown Lexington called the bar was called the Dame. It's no longer there.
This is the loudest shit I've ever heard in my life.
And my dad took us. And my dad was one of the funniest fucking, I mean, he's just a whole lot of fun. But he hated, he's a big country and bluegrass guy. That's what he liked. He just took us because we wanted to go. And they had their full arena set up in this little freaking bar. And the second they started playing, you could feel it
I
inside.
thought I was going to have
your
a heart
damn
attack.
Oh, yeah,
chest.
you really, it was like, this is going to fuck up my heart rhythm. This is not good. This is, that was the same with Kiss. It's you're just like, I'm trying to isolate myself from the vibrations in the stadium. And it's like, it's not working out very well.
They got a defib machine in the bathroom.
I know,
Just going
really,
down.
they need, yeah. So
But yeah,
that
the
was my first and last concert that I ever did.
The opening band, Artemis Pile Driver, was the name of the band.
Artemis Pile Driver?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a great name for a band.
My
Oh,
dad
that
just
is.
freaking he's off and he's going I'm like, where the hell is he going? And he comes back with stuffed his ears with toilet paper. And he's like, I'm good now. And just, it's kind of
That's
funny.
funny. What was the headliner for that show?
Nashville Pussy.
Oh wow.
They're kind of an AC/DC style band.
Yeah, I don't know.
Nashville Pussy.
Yep.
Yep. Very loud.
And who was the opening band again? Artemis Dick Cheese. What was it named again?
Artemis Pile
that was
Driver.
it.
Pile Driver.
Gomer Pile Driver.
Golly!
That's cute.
Gomer Pile Driver. That's a great name for a band.
That's actually awesome.
I like that.
Pile Driver.
Gomer Pile Driver.
Oh shit! I'm gonna have to make a Gomer Pile Driver T-shirt.
Golly, motherfucker!
It'd be such a killer metal band.
Yes.
What the hell's going on in here? Neil Hamburger.
Neil Hamburger. What? Did the first
Toilet
say
say to the second toilet, let's call our band Kiss. Jesus Christ.
Oh, shit.
Well, I hope that was worth the $5.
And I've never seen him in the chat before, so
Oh God.
180 people. Let's see if we can get it up to 200.
200. Slippy
183.
gives a scoop. Come on. Let's
I'm
go.
not giving you shit.
Hey, Slippy
give
said
us
that
a
he would
scoop.
let us know what the first Vestron 4K was going to be.
I
Yep.
never
it's
said
coming.
No,
He said it was
that
coming.
earlier.
it's blobbity blue.
It's blibbity blop. Part 2.
So, Maximum Overdrive, though, was this the first release since the Anchor Bay DVD, like probably 20 years earlier?
There had been a budget release on DVD, a re-release of it. But yeah, it was the first Blu-ray release in the U.S. I think there had been one overseas or an Italian one or something like that, Japanese one maybe. But it was the first remastering, first HD version here in the States, definitely.
And I
Now,
know
was
that.
there any
Yeah, go
Oh,
ahead. Sorry.
was there any issues with the music for this to get and whatnot? Because I know a lot of companies using that as a big excuse on why certain things aren't coming out. Is like it's all to try to
that one was
license
always
these music.
fine. That one was always locked up and fine. There was never any issues with that at all. No, that never came up.
But with Maximum Overdrive, though, you said like that was one of the best sellers that they had up to that point.
Did really well. It did really well.
And as we end year 2, it was another almost 2 years. There was a hiatus there before the third season of releases. And what was the cause of that, you think?
Well, there were a couple of factors. One, it right after Maximum Overdrive, Lionsgate had, I think, distribution rights on like 7 of the 10 Best Picture nominees that year. So they were just tied up with Oscar campaigns and getting all that stuff done. And then there was a lot of people left the company. There were some layoffs, and things got kind of turned around, and they had to focus on some other stuff. It was just there was a series of things that kind of cut one on top of the other, and then I think the following year, by the time we got our shit kind of back together, was when the pandemic started. And so that was another factor to where that became a problem. So it was just a lot of things just kind of piled up on one on top of the other for that.
Now, were you worried about the line just being canceled at that point? Were you like, or did you know it was still going to probably come back?
Oh, I knew it was still going to happen. It was just a matter of when they were going to get around to doing it again. Because it's not. This line is fun, and it's people, they enjoy doing it and they do well, but it's not Hunger Games. It's not.
Sure.
It's not the John Wick. So it's.
But at the same time, like these cult movies, like the new releases are probably only good sellers for the first 4 or 5 months, wouldn't you say? And then they're gone. You can't really even buy them in stores.
But they make a lot of money in those for 4 to 5 months. I mean, even these titles they're designed to do well enough that they return their investment, and it's also about building a brand and fulfilling a customer base out there. But at the same time, there's no expectations on any of these titles that they're going to make their year off of these things. So
right, but I mean, it's one of those titles that they can sell for. Some of these have been out for 5 or 6 years, and they're still selling.
And some of them have proven to be evergreen. I mean, I knew Maximum Overdrive was going to do great. I just knew that it would because I had previous experience seeing how well it did, and it did. And I think what was a lot of fun about that was I have never liked any of the home video covers really for that movie. The Lorimar VHS is okay, but it wasn't really a world beater as far as I was concerned. And the Anchor Bay DVD was cool. It was a cool piece of art, but I didn't think it really sold the movie all that well. So I wanted to do something different that was one of my things, that we're doing new artwork for this. And Justin Osborne, I just turned it over to him and said, I don't want it to be a dark cover, and I want the Green Goblin truck. You got to put him on. Like, he's the star.
That's
he's the star of this fucking movie. I know Emilio Estevez is the lead, but the star of this movie is that fucking truck. And so he came back with that artwork that you see there. And as soon as I saw it, I went, well, that'll fucking do. You know, it was just like, that's the best goddamn art this movie has ever had.
Wasn't there one at one time, Slippy, where it was like, I don't remember if this was the Anchor Bay version, where it had one version where there was like a truck with a guy stuck in the grill.
That's
and
the
then,
woman. That was the DVD.
Or,
The
okay,
woman,
maybe. And then they had one that was clean where it was just like there was nobody in the grill for some reason. Like they took that out of there.
That was the DVD that came out from the other company later.
Okay.
That was just the front of a semi, like a stock shot. Had nothing to do with anything. But that wasn't Anchor Bay. That was another company.
Let me ask you this, Felsher. I'm curious about this because I was thinking about this the other day. Because you work with both companies now, Anchor Bay and Lionsgate. Is there a warehouse somewhere that has the old stock of Anchor Bay stuff, whatever was left?
No, not at this point. Most of that stuff was purged years and years and years ago. I'm sure there's still a few maybe lying around, but like the vintage stuff, the cool stuff, no. That stuff's all hit the bricks a long time ago.
What do they do? Destroy it?
They did destroy a lot of them. When the licenses went up, a lot of them, they were ordered to destroy them because they couldn't legally sell them anymore.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Some
It's
of them are-
crazy.
That's hogwash.
Yeah, I know. Some at least 30, 40 copies of Midnight Hour bit the dust that way.
Jesus Christ.
God, you
Yeah,
can
I know.
finance a house with that.
Yes.
I know. It's like I need to pay my rent this year. Here's a copy of the Midnight Hour to sell. You know?
Oh man, that's
I know.
crazy.
Will
If I'd
the
known that, I would have gone back and just said, I need to request these for research purposes. You know,
they could just say, I'll take these out to the trash for you.
yeah, and then just I was like, well, why are you putting them in the back of your car? That's where the trash is. It's just-
Now was this after they had already been bought out, like in the sense, because I feel like Midnight Hour was just you couldn't get it for as long as I can remember. You know, like
Well, it was
there
one
was
of those
no
titles
title.
that it was available, but not a lot of people ordered many copies of it. And so by the time people kind of went, hey, I really want to get this, it was already out of print.
Mhm.
And so they're just, you know, it was just one of those titles that never quite got the placement that it deserved.
Mhm.
You know, it just happens.
Wild.
Thumbs up, bulls, because y'all want to do the giveaway?
Sure, let's do it.
Got 180 people
He's
in
the
here.
but like Jackson Jack, Slippy works for both companies. He is the chosen one. Oh man, if I'm the chosen one, the human race is fucking doomed. It's just
Well, you have worked for almost all of the companies, really. Is there any company you haven't worked for?
never worked directly with Warner Brothers or Paramount, but everybody else in one form or another I've done something for.
I thought you did some of the Friday the 13th stuff.
No, I never did. I wanted to, but they never hired me. They never hired me to do any of that stuff. I helped out
Okay.
with some friends who were shooting the stuff for Paramount. In fact, we were at, I think it was Scream Fest or Scare Fest in Kentucky. Remember we did that
Yeah.
panel there?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was helping out with some of that stuff, but I wasn't hired officially for any of that.
Yeah, they had us to do that fucking panel. I was ready to shit my pants, dude. I was like, I don't do that shit.
They told us that about 20
Thank
minutes
God
before we did
Felsher
it.
was there. I was like,
Yeah.
you do the introductions, man. I can't. I've never done
What
that.
was the
Who-
panel for?
It was the Friday the 13th panel. I think Betsy Palmer, Victor Miller.
Tom Savini,
Tom
Adrian
Savini.
King.
Adrian King, yeah.
Oh yeah, that was the show where I set it up so Tom Savini insulted the hell out of Uncle Bill when he first met
Was
him.
that show?
Yeah,
I
that
couldn't remember
was the
which one
show.
it was, but that was
Yeah.
great. Yeah.
Yeah, that was great. That was awesome. The look
yeah,
on Uncle
that-
Bill's face. Oh,
How'd it go?
Dude, yeah, it would be one thing if like they had told us like a few days before, but we were told that day,
right.
Yeah.
and I was like, oh,
No, I thought it went really well. As I recall, the panel went really well.
It was fine. Yeah, we just shit our pants a little bit in the beginning.
yeah. I just gently shit my pants.
You should have
But-
said that when you got up there. Hey, folks, I just shit my pants.
If y'all smell anything, I do
I
apologize.
just total shit my pants. Oh God!
Oh, shit in my
All right.
pants.
So we're going to leave this open for a second. Hopefully this works because we haven't done this giveaway tool. And if you want to enter
Oh, God.
to
Is
win,
it the fucking wheel?
no.
Okay, good.
No,
'cause
this
my
is
computer would fucking
different.
freeze up if it was.
you do the hashtag RadPit in the chat to enter if you want to win the
Yeah, don't you-
dentist.
Yeah. I
Collection.
think Uncle Bill, don't you need to wind up your internet?
Yeah, hold on one second. I
You
got
got
to
to
do it
turn
like a
the crank.
grandfather clock.
Yeah.
You gotta give that hamster more cheese or
You
something.
gotta crank it. Oh, God damn this internet.
Cisco's in the house.
Cisco's wanting to win it, boss.
Listen, you
Dong,
motherfuckers.
dong, dong, dong.
We're only 10 people away from Slippy giving us scoops. I don't even care at this point.
Yeah.
I'm not giving you any scoops.
Come on, Slippy, you can do it.
I'm telling you, blobbity boo, it's coming.
I heard there's actually some pretty good news coming in August. That's what I heard. So
From what?
I don't know. Maybe Vestron.
In August?
August is coming up.
Slippy, if you're either the greatest actor of all time or like that's legitimately
I have no
surprising.
idea what the fuck you're talking about.
Maybe like mid-August.
Okay.
Well, there's got to
Yeah,
be some
yeah.
Vestron titles
Yeah.
coming out this
Yeah.
fall at least, right?
I don't know.
Oh yeah, they're gonna have to announce something for October. You think? Everybody else does.
Maybe, I don't know.
That's gonna be the August announcement.
Oh,
I'm
who
not in
knows?
charge of any of that stuff, which is great because it relieves me of the responsibility of having to say anything about it.
Let me ask you
Hey,
this too,
Slippy,
because
read the comments about me wanting the nightmare out. You are a cool motherfucker, though. Well, I appreciate that. But I'm not doing the goddamn Nightmare on Elm Street box set. This is why I don't give you scoops, because you guys suck. Not you, Jackson, them.
Hold on. I'm going to brighten this up for you, Slippy, so you can see me smiling.
Well, it'd be nice to
Oh,
see.
there he is. There he is.
Oh wow, yeah,
It's a
that made a
shade
huge.
bright.
That made a huge difference.
Wait, let me do it again for you. Hold on. Oh, look here.
Oh, that's
Okay.
better.
Fuck you, Slippy. Ain't like that.
did you go see the eye doctor or something today? Is why you had a sedum in there? What was the deal?
Yeah, I have cataracts. Come find out.
Okay.
Okay, that explains why.
We're going to give it about another minute, though, on hashtag RadPit if anybody wants to enter for, and it's on either channel. If you're on Born to Be Rad or Dead Pit, get it in there. You can only vote one time. It's only going to count one vote for you. It's supposed to.
Come on, let's
So
do
no
this.
cheaters.
This-
No cheaters.
You're gonna. Okay.
But we are going to do a show in September. We're doing like a 4-part series coming up on the Masters of Horror show.
Oh,
Who owns that? Could that ever see another re-release or anything?
I think
'Cause
Lionsgate inherited that. I think from the.
Mm.
that would be a really cool box set for them to do.
Oh,
We can line up the news right with the
Yeah.
show. You know.
here it
There
is.
you go.
There's your scoop.
That's never. even
Slippy's
come-
working on Masters of Horror.
No, I'm not.
Yep.
And that thing,
You
those
heard it
things are
here.
covered. Those things were loaded with extras back in the day, anyway.
Well, yeah, but a lot of people like they were only on DVD. Most of them were only on the DVD, though, right? There were a few Blu-rays, but
I want
I don't
Jennifer in
recall.
4K.
Most of that happened after I was gone from Anchor Bay, so I wasn't there for any of that really.
The
Anyway.
Dentist 2 is actually pretty good. I thought it was. I mean,
thought
it's
so.
all right. So we're going to see how this works.
What the hell, Neil?
Yeah.
Yeah, Neil, buddy, you got to behave a little bit. now.
He's not.
Subjective perspective collective. That's an interesting. I like that.
Let's see if we can get this. We can get this done in one hit here.
What the
First
hell
try.
is this?
All right. So, yeah, the hashtag, of course, was for
Rad
Pit.
Brad Pitt. Mhm.
All right. Are y'all getting your votes in? Hurry up if you haven't, because I'm getting ready to pull. Can y'all see that good? Because I can only.
Mhm.
Okay.
I can see it.
In 3, 2, 1.
32 entries.
All right, I gotta hit draw, I guess.
Draw.
Oh God, this is where my fucking
Oh,
computer
baby.
crashes. Son of a bitch. Well, I'm fucked now.
The mayor.
Oh, the
Yeah.
mayor. Awesome.
Yeah. Nice. dude.
Congratulations, sir.
Job, sir.
I want to stop sharing it so Uncle Bill's computer will come back.
Congrats.
Yeah, I
That
couldn't
was
ever
cool.
see it
I like
anyway, so it's nice that he won.
Congratulations, man. I'm glad that it wasn't like, at least it's somebody that's always in here, so we know he's a real guy.
Mm-hmm. That's cool, man. Congrats.
Yeah, just
Congratulations to the mayor.
shoot us a message or whatever, Mayor, and we will get it out to you probably tomorrow. We have 190 people. Can we get 10 more people in here? Because Felsher
on.
is going to tell us what the
No.
first 4K is for Vestron. If
No.
we get,
Yep.
Share this out socials.
We only need 10 more people. Come on.
yeah. So if people like the giveaway thing, we may do more of those in the future. Who knows? Who's to say?
Some of the big shows. The big shows.
Yeah.
Also, if we get 200, then Slippy's going to talk about like who the worst person was he ever interviewed and what he really thought about him. All that live
Yeah.
right now.
I just want to hear the John Carpenter story.
Yeah, he's
The
going to talk
John
about that
Carpenter
too.
Story?
Yep.
I think it was John Carpenter. I don't know for a fact, but
Well, I haven't had great experiences with them, but
Understatement, I think,
yeah.
for anybody that's ever met him.
I think we were like one of the only people that ever had a good experience with him when we did that interview with him back in the day. I don't know what he was.
No, I mean,
He had some good shit.
You know, I'm not all that broken up about it, but they happened in very short succession with each other. So it was like after that, it's just like I don't want anything more to do with this. It's like, you know, but you know, it's not worth rehashing, really. I don't think it wasn't like he did anything really that bad. He just
Did
wasn't-
you
John
hear
Carpenter.
anything about him directing a movie from his house? Like he's on like a,
That's right.
I
I
don't
was like,
know.
that's so killer.
That is killer.
Carpenter's figured out how to make
Oh.
absolute fortune still sitting his ass on the couch playing video games and smoking dope, you know.
Hey, that's genius if he can do it.
He's living the dream, man. All right, I've got some saved messages on here from titles, and a lot of these are the same titles that are mentioned like almost every show we have you on. But I figured I'd go through them kind of quickly so you can, if you know anything, here you go.
Okay,
Gleaming the Cube.
Oh yes.
that's not there anymore.
What? Man.
I don't think this one's on here. Light of Day.
That's not there anymore either.
Where in the hell is it?
Somewhere else.
He knows. Look at him. Fucking smirking over there. You know where it is.
Crocodile
Crocodile-
1 and 2. Are you out of your mind?
I
Those are
love
pa-
those movies.
No, those are Paramount movies. Those aren't. You know.
Elves. Do you
Oof.
hear the story about elves that I know?
Dan
anyways?
Haggerty elves.
Yeah.
So elves, from what I've been told, is lost. That's another one that they can't
I think-
find.
I don't think they can find the film elements for no.
Yeah, I know TerraVision's trying to find that big time. They keep talking about it. Yeah.
Vinegar Syndrome, I know, has been
Vinegar
looking
Syndrome
for.
was too at
Yeah.
one point. Yeah.
So it's not like people wouldn't release it. It's just kind of like
Yeah,
lost.
they can't get anything to work from.
Catwoman or Milo and Otis, on Blu-ray.
I don't know. Those are.
Milo and Otis.
I don't know.
He goes to
When's that
Lionsgate. He's
going
like,
out?
"All right, the next Vestron is going to be Milo."
You Milo Notice, and we don't own that. So I
I
don't know.
fucking love Milo and Otis though. Like I know it's like there was some bad shit that happened.
Oh,
when
it's
they made that
horrible
movie.
because they killed a lot of dogs and cats in that movie. It
Yeah.
was just like, you know, whenever you
man.
see a shot of like, oh wow, I wonder how the cat made it through that. They didn't. They just replaced it with another cat.
Fucking threw a bunch of cats in rivers and shit.
Oh yeah, it's just like let's just say that the same Milo and Otis you see at the beginning of the movie are not the same Milo and Otis that finish it, and in
No.
between there are a lot of Milos and a lot of Otises.
That's crazy.
It's not good. It's not no.
Son of Dracula from 1974.
No.
I don't know what that is. All right. If anybody else in the chat has anything else as far
Oh.
as the
I know one that got mentioned, but I don't know anything about it really. Because Christian mentioned it pretty early on. 976 Evil 2.
oh yeah,
That's
somebody
not,
else
That
has
is
it
not
here.
over there anymore either.
Yeah, because that was one that was on the multi-pack thing.
It
wasn't
was, yeah,
Yep.
but the rights have expired since then.
Ah, shit.
I always bring up Summer Camp Nightmare, but I don't know if it's a music issue or what with that.
No, that has a different. I wouldn't hold your breath. Let's just say that. It's just
Do you know what's wild is that actually was up for pre-order on DVD a couple, like probably 10 years ago, and I had it pre-ordered. Then it got canceled, and it just totally like vanished off. The
Which
site.
one
I don't
was
know.
it?
Summer Camp Nightmare?
I don't know who was putting it out, but I remember being so excited, and then it just like got canceled, and I never heard from it
I
again.
don't
Well, what's
know.
the deal with it? Is it whoever owns it's never going to, or what?
It's interesting. It's just I can't really get into it, but there's just a lot of. It's interesting.
Wasn't it? That was a Canadian movie, wasn't it?
No, it was an American film, but it was it's interesting.
How
This is
interesting. How
This
interesting
is gonna
is
be
it?
this will be some scoops right here. I'm
No,
dying.
there
to
ain't no
learn about
scoop here. It's just it's interesting.
Brad Henderson, though, was talking about cheerleader camp. Evidently, there's some major issues with that one too.
Well, the only thing I knew about was because when we did cheerleader camp back in Anchor Bay, we licensed it from the director, and that's who we worked with to do everything with. And now he's been dead for a while, so I don't know what happened to the rights to that, or who. I don't know what's going on with that one.
It was one of those deals too, where did he actually have the film elements and everything too?
He did, as I recall. Well, yeah, because we went to the IP for the transfer that we did, so there were film elements at one.
So
point.
who knows what his family did with it? I mean, they could have
If
just
he
thrown
had
it
family
out.
or not, I don't know. I don't know. That was a long time. I keep forgetting that was 20 fucking years ago. We did that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jesus.
The Carnosaur trilogy.
That would be Shout Factory if they were going to do it. They own the rights to that movie. The trilogy.
That's Roger Corman in it.
Yeah, because they own
Yeah.
the Corman catalog now. So
Night Flyer. That's a big
Richard,
studio, isn't it?
that's Richard Rubenstein. He owns that
Oh
one.
shit! There's no chance of that.
Buddy, be nice about that shit.
That's what's crazy though to think
God.
about. Like a lot of these things, everybody's just in the assumption that everything will eventually come out. But like you said, at this point where we are with tech and all that stuff, like some of these elements are long gone. Directors have died. I mean, there's a lot
There's just
of
a lot
issues that can be going right.
Yeah, it's just hard to find. Sometimes the stuff just people forget
So-
where the hell it went or what's going on, and
So back
Wait a
in
minute,
like
wait a minute. One more that I was curious about too.
Yeah.
Real quick. Bruiser.
Bruiser.
Yes.
Oh, the Romero one, yeah. That one I've talked about with Lionsgate. I'd like to see that one happen. That would be great. But I haven't, I haven't started work on it or anything yet. But hopefully that one in the future will happen.
be a perfect one you could include the discussion with Romero about the movie the podcast thing. That would be a great extra for that.
I mean, I would like to do that movie, but it's one of his lesser known films, so sometimes it's a little bit of an uphill battle. But my argument is, well, if you don't want it to be lesser known, get it out there.
Mhm.
Right. Look at the Monster Squad, man. When that came out,
Oh yeah,
not a lot of people knew what that was on DVD.
that was a big success. That was a really big success.
Same company too. So tell them, remember that shit, boss.
Yeah.
Tell him that. Be like, remember this shit.
Remember
when I
this
did
shit?
this?
Remember back 18 years ago, pal.
That'd be so killer phone call. Hey, bitch, remember this shit when I did monster?
Daggone.
Yeah, that'll get me. Yeah, you go do that, fucking Bruiser. I said so, and also bloody murders.
Bloody murder.
Mock said bloody murder.
Box
by
that. Box that.
Now,
And by the way, bloody blue.
another one though that we did, and it kind of brought the movie up again for us. We did a watch along for it was like a deleted scene from the Blair Witch Project, which was boring as fuck, by the way. It was like Crybaby Bridge or something like that was the name of it. But like Blair Witch Project's another one that does Lionsgate still own the
Oh yeah, they still own that.
so they've never really done a proper like special edition for that with a lot of extras or anything. Do you think that's something they may want to that'd be a killer Vestron release?
I doubt they would do that as a Vestron release. I think that's strong enough they can just release that by itself. Yeah, it's a possibility, but that would be a major undertaking. There's just a lot of stuff to go through on that.
Like
And then
30
the oth-
hours of footage, right?
Yeah, and then I would really like to see them do something with the sequel, Book of Shadows,
Mhm.
and get something that closely approximates what the original version might have been, just as a comparison note. But I doubt that would ever happen either. But it would be interesting. It would be really interesting. But, yeah.
Interesting one here from Dirk. What would your dream release be to work on?
Munchies.
He's already working on it right now. Nightmare on Elm Street. He's super. fucking psyched about it.
Actually, my dream release, one of the ones I would have said would have been Trick or Treat. I've been fighting to get that movie released for, God,
Yeah, that's a
15
pretty huge
15
one.
years. 60, I mean, even longer than that. I wanted to do it back at Anchor Bay, and we couldn't figure it out then either.
So how come you were the one that finally? I mean, all these studios out here, and you're starting up kind of, new company. How were you able to get it, and these other studios didn't?
I just kept asking questions and wouldn't let it go. A lot of other people just kind of gave up because they assumed it was somewhere and they weren't going to get it. And it's just it was just a lot of detective work. In terms of figuring out, well, this time it went here, then it was over here, then who had it. It's just it took a long, long time. And I think eventually you just stumbled upon the right people to talk to who are also willing to do some go through some boxes in the basement, so to speak, and go, oh shit, yeah, we do own that. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Well, can I have it? Oh, sure, okay, whatever.
That would be. I don't know if that could be talked about now, but I mean, that's probably a pretty interesting story. How you found it and what your reaction must have been when the person says, "Oh yeah, we do have that." You must have been like, well, "Finally, I found this thing."
It kind of was like, really? It's like you're actually admitting you have paperwork that backs this up. It's like, yeah. It's like, oh, can I have it?
But did you find out, like, have they had it for like the last 30 years? Like,
no, it wasn't that long, but it was analogous to the situation that happened with the Stepfather. The original Stepfather, I don't know if you guys remember, was out on VHS on Embassy way back in the day, and then it just disappeared. It just was gone. And even when the remake came out, it didn't get reissued. And I kept telling the company that it had reverted to, because the original production company was ITC, which was owned by another company called ITV, and it was just buried in their catalog. And they got the remake rights from them. And I went to someone over there. I said, you guys have the home video rights back to this. It would have reverted back to you. There's nowhere else it would have gone to. And they're like, our records show that we don't, that it's over at New Line or something. It's like, no, that deal ended years ago. And they went, well, you would have to go back and look in the basement and, figure out, drag out the old contracts inside. It's not really, it's like, well, all right, but you're sitting on a major title that, that could get reissued and bring in a revenue stream. Finally, they literally sent someone down to the basement to dig out the contracts. And they came back and went, yeah, we've owned it for the last 10 years. We didn't.
That's crazy. That's just insane to me that there's that much stuff down there that they don't even realize they got, And
well, what happens when these catalogs become part of other catalogs, which become part of other catalogs, they're so removed from it, they don't really even necessarily know. And
now, how about the sequels to Stepfather, by the way? Is that anything that
well,
people have
2 is
access
with
to?
the same company, but they knew about that one. 3 is actually owned by them too, but I think Lionsgate has a long-term distribution deal on that. I'd love to do part 3. Part 3 is a lot of fun. What I love about part 3 is it ends definitively. There was no doing a Stepfather 4 after that, really. Because they put the motherfucker through a wood chipper in part 3. They feed his ass through a wood chipper. It's like, well, okay, if they can somehow figure out how to resurrect him from this, then that's going to be one hell of a kick because he's goo. So unless he's a T-1000 or something, the motherfucker, it's like, or they pull some shit. It's like he was not the real Stepfather. The Stepfather.
It would be a good release, man, because I don't think it's had anything since VHS still?
The Vidmark VHS was the last time it was had any. So yeah, I would love to do it. I would love to do it because it's actually a fun little movie. I thought it was very energetically made, and it doesn't do anything different really than the first 2 did, but it was fun. And the guy that got to replace Terry O'Quinn, I thought did a really good job. And it made sense to me that the character would get plastic surgery to change himself because he was changing his look from family to family anyway. So why wouldn't he get? I mean, it made sense to me.
It fit, even though it wasn't the same. They made it work by using that as the excuse rather than just trying to pretend it's the same guy.
Right, yeah. So no, we're not going to pretend it's the same guy. But the guy that got, Robert Whiteman, who I haven't really seen much else after that, I thought he did a really good job of capturing the same kind of style that Terry O'Quinn had with the character, which is a hard act to follow because O'Quinn was so great. But no, I'd love to do part 3. 3 is a lot of fun.
Cool.
All right, you heard it here first.
Yeah. Lots of
That's
stuff.
the next
the-
thing he's working on. Yeah.
Lots of stuff covered on this show. We found out. Well, we've still got it. If we can get 15 more people in here, we
No,
want to
there's
get
no-
Felsher's 4K
No,
announcement.
there's
Oh
no.
shit! We just got 15 people in here all of a sudden.
Oh, so I'm gonna come up short on the amount of people to do the thing I never said I was gonna do in the first place.
Yeah.
You guys want to open up some heavy metal turtle artwork and see what we got here?
No.
Look at that. Look at that artwork on the front.
I know my interest is peaked.
I couldn't be more excited if you tried to make me.
Heavy metal turtles is still in here, man.
I like
Be
turtles.
nice to heavy metal turtle.
What the hell? am I
Where'd
doing?
Slippy go? Slippy
What the
bounced.
hell? Well, fine. I didn't want to be on the show anymore anyway.
Slippy's like, I don't want to look at those turtles. Oh, there it is.
There we go. I don't know what the hell happened.
What the hell? Yeah.
All right. Heavy metal turtles. I hope you're still in the chat because I've had this package for a couple days.
Can somebody describe to me what it looks like? Because I ain't gonna be able to see none of this shit.
Well, you can't see that.
Not on the other side. No.
Well, we'll see what it is. Oh, Lord.
Oh boy.
I hope this isn't pornographic.
I
Garrett
hope
wouldn't
it
like that.
is.
No.
Oh, please let it be pornographic.
Garrett
Yep.
wouldn't like that. Oh, gosh. Heavy metal turtles. Custom refrigerator magnet. There's one of Uncle Bill and there's one of the creepy Kentuckian.
Oh, God.
What?
There ain't no way.
Wait, who's that?
What the hell was
I don't
that?
know.
What?
Okay.
That wasn't Uncle Bill with like a.
Uncle Bill's is right here. So I should have gave you. I had no idea what it was, or I would have gave it to you earlier today.
So is it in there?
It is.
Okay.
Oh, you
we
saw
don't-
him? Can you see
say-
him today?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Oh,
came
that's
by.
cool. Wow. That was
He come
nice
by
of
and
you,
gave me a big hug.
Gave him a hug, talked
Wow.
about how we were gonna get Felsher to like tell on himself.
All right. I'll just open up. Can you see video now, Uncle Bill?
Yeah.
Okay. Just going to open it up, and next time I see you, I'll just throw it your way.
I've got to know what this looks like.
Holy shit!
This is so exciting.
Shut your ass.
This is actually pretty killer. Creepy Kentucky and the poster from Madman. I've been a big fan of you guys for a long time. Heavy metal turtles, and it's like an emo version of me with hair. I've still got hair. Look,
What the hell is
Look at
that
that.
supposed to be?
that's supposed to be me.
That doesn't look fuck all like you. That doesn't. It doesn't.
You don't like that?
No,
You like it? You
who the fuck was that supposed to be?
He's at the Slippy's like the best at getting gifts. This sucks.
From Heavy Metal Turtles, boss.
Oh, that's cool, man.
Yeah.
Uncle Bill, you want to see yours?
yeah.
Oh yeah, I very much
I'm-
want to see Uncle Bill's.
I'm ready.
That looked more like Uncle Bill than it did you.
Well, maybe that was Uncle Bill. Maybe this one. Oh my fucking god,
What?
dude!
What is it?
What the heck? is going
Uncle
on?
Bill's is fucking killer, man. All right, I got a full screen this. You
All
guys are fucking.
What the fuck? What the fuck is that?
It's like a Jason
Oh,
head
shit.
with him on a bike with a girl in the back, chucking the
Yeah,
bird.
he did. Look at this shit.
What on?
Who the fuck is that supposed to be? What's going on?
Who's the girl in the back flipping?
What
somebody
is
off?
going on in that? I don't understand. But
Legendary Heavy Metal Turtles, boss.
That's funny.
That is actually pretty killer.
oh, the mayor says Slippy's just jealous that he didn't make one of him. Yes, jealousy. That's what I'm feeling. Hell, one of
Slippy
those
needs-
could have been me. It looks more like me than does either one of those guys.
I'm still just.
I'm
It
in
did
awe.
look like Hank Hill. It looks like a
Uncle
melted
Bill
Hank Hill from the King of the. It's like,
It does look like King of the Hill.
God damn it, Bobby.
Yeah, so this is a magnet.
King of the Bill.
It's a
There he is.
workable magnet.
Who's the girl behind him giving the finger? What's going on there?
What the fuck? That looks like
Who is-
Napoleon Dynamite or something.
It does. It looks more like Napoleon Dynamite.
Heavy Metal says, "Read the letter." He said,
Read the letter. Okay.
I mean, Heavy Metal Turtles. Look, I'm not. Please don't take anything I'm saying personally. You draw way better than I ever could, so I'm not. I'm actually jealous, but still, it's a loose interpretation of these guys. I say at best, really. It's
Okay. He says that was Ethel on the back of the bike from Friday the 13th Part 5.
Apple.
Yeah.
So you're driving her around?
Well, she maybe had a big bowl of stew with her or something. Maybe I would have known who that
yeah,
was.
that's
But
funny.
No, the Heavy Metal Turtle, man, this is actually great shit.
It is.
Like, when I saw Uncle Bill's, I was like, oh my God. But yeah, I don't know if there's an explanation of mine. Like, I haven't had hair in many years.
Let's see yours again real quick.
yes,
Just-
please, because I maybe I just didn't look at it right.
I'm sure that's
I'll-
what it was.
I'll full screen it.
He looked like he was like in Limp Bizkit or something.
Yeah, I was looking like I'm getting ready to
Oh, who
go
is
kill
that?
somebody.
You look, it's the Madman.
I mean,
poster.
it's mad.
Yeah, but what's with the straggly hair? You don't look
He looks like
anything like
Tim.
that.
You look like Tim and that. Oh
Next-
God.
Next show, you could come back with like a hair under the hat and have the hat like sideways, like you try to look like that guy. No,
Oh, that doesn't
That's
look. That's not even
I'm gonna have
close.
to get like a
That's
wig to put in my hat.
Yeah.
and everything.
Do like a
Somehow or another,
sideways
that is absolutely perfect for this show.
hat.
I'm a
That's
bro. Yeah, those were very cool though. Heavy Metal Turtles. I wasn't expecting that at all.
How could you have?
Nobody was. No.
I will put up photos and stuff on the Dead Pit Facebook though, because those are everybody's going to see those in great detail.
Actually,
But-
now you're right. I do want one. I do want him to do one of me because I'm curious how I am perceived by this person. Because if that's how I mean, maybe I'd look better. Shit, I don't know.
It's to say you can be
Wow.
working on. Maybe you can be working on the Elm Street box set in the magnet.
I like what Jackson Jack says. At first, I thought she was reaching around and feeling Uncle Bill's titties. Like, that's kind of what it looks like. Yeah, boy.
I look like the lead singer of Nickelback. That's
You
terrible.
do. You do. You do. You look like Robert. You like Robert
Whatever his
Smith
name
from The
is.
Cure.
Oh Lord.
It's just Robert Smith. Robert.
But guys,
Smith.
this has been a fun show.
Has
Sleepy,
it?
I think so.
I
I
think
think
so.
it's
Yeah,
been
is
one
it?
for the record books.
All right, so we're up
Hey,
to 200
yeah.
people now. We need the scoop.
We're at 200 live.
Yep.
So
Just,
give
yeah,
us a
just
scoop.
yell it out. Just yell out a title or something.
Yep.
No.
Ghoulies 3, Ghoulies Go to College in 4K.
We know
That
that's
will
gonna
not be the first
4K.
4K.
Yep.
I can tell you right now, Ghoulies 3 will not. Ghoulies
If I
go to
was in
college.
charge, that would be the first 4K.
Yes, and the company would be gone the next day.
Well, how about this?
Still wouldn't
Has there been any talks about taking this line to 4K, or are they just happy with what's going on?
There have been some discussions, yes, because obviously everyone's going to 4K. So at some point, I'm sure there will be a 4K title from the line.
Can I
whether
give you a
it's-
recommendation? Not a movie, but what I would like is I love the way that these all go in sync with each other on the shelf with the little number on the spine. So even if you went 4K, like I would, not to change the whole design of like, because a lot of companies do that. As soon as they go 4K, they change like the whole look of the whole thing. So it's like, you put them on the shelf next
Well,
to it,
what-
it almost feels like it doesn't belong.
Well, one thing has been discussed, and that's it's just sort of is do we integrate the 4K into the numbered line, or do we do the 4Ks as a separate?
That's true. I mean,
Sure.
I mean, that's-
Because
you
then
could do
you
it
have a
from both ways.
situation like if we do bring out titles that have been done before,
Sure, yeah.
then it'd be
Yeah.
in this, So I don't know. I think we'd probably have to do it separately.
Oh, yeah.
you know.
People's OCD would be really fucked up. if you just-
Exactly. You
yeah.
know.
Right. I
Well,
wonder,
you
like,
maybe-
I like the way the slips look, but people are liking like the VHS look or whatever. Like if you went back and tried to go back in time, kind of like that might be pretty cool.
What I would do is I would make it kind of a similar design as these, but just change the color up, like maybe make it more of a silver case with black trim or whatever, and then just
Yeah.
renumber it, Start.
Yeah, that's not the
number one.
line. I mean, the line look was something that we went through a lot of. They came up with the banner and everything like that. I originally proposed a much different line look for it, which I liked a lot, but didn't really go over as well as I'd hoped. But it would have been really cool.
But do
still
you
have
think
a
that
picture of
that
one,
that
actually.
image that you made you could bring back to the table if they wanted to make like a different look, or do you think
I-
it's just they're totally not interested in that?
No, I don't think it would be appropriate for the 4K look. I don't think it would be really work. Because what I had done was sort of a retro VHS type of thing where there was a background image and then there was a rectangular image that like looked like a VHS sleeve in the middle of it. And it was kind of a I did a demo. What did I use as a demo for that? Oh, the chopping wall was the one I demoed like that.
Mm-hmm.
I still got it somewhere. I should show it sometime.
Sure, yeah, that'd be cool.
Could be, just as an example of what it would have looked like. But I'm sure for everyone who would have liked it, there would have been an entire, everyone was like, "Oh, this sucks. This is stupid." Which maybe they would have been right. I don't know. Because you can never get anybody to agree on anything when it comes.
Nah,
to these
you
things,
really
so.
you really can't.
So, Slippy, as far as like the rest of the year, I mean, is there going to be anything else from Vestron this year that you know of, or how many releases, or
There's at least one more.
okay?
Yeah, at least one more.
If that's Slippy's phone going nuts, somebody just heard that he's about to give a scoop, and they're like, "Don't say
No,
shit,
it's
getting all
actually
these
it's
things."
actually unrelated crap that's going on with it. Jesus Christ!
I heard you're about to name drop. You better cut
No,
out.
no.
Shut the
Somebody-
fuck
You
up.
better,
Somebody
you better
tagged
shut
him on
up, not
Instagram.
say anything.
I just saw there was 200 people in that live. You better not say anything.
You better not say anything about the Home Sweet Home 4K that's coming out. It's like, damn it.
Yeah,
Well,
God,
Terry,
that is
10
amazing.
Killer got a 4K, man, and I actually ordered it.
Of course you did. But,
Yeah, but it's always good getting you on, Sleepy, for one thing or another. I don't know. These Vestron shows, though, I mean, hell, we're almost caught up at this point, really. Because after a 2-year break there, that already brings us to 2020.
Mhm.
So we'll have to spread these out a little bit, but these are always a lot of fun to do.
yeah.
Now, did say that there's a couple more Vestrons planned for the year right now?
One more. There'll be one more this year, I know of. And then there's
Which one is that?
It's
a
Blobby
big
Blue.
one.
If we guess it, Sleepy, if we guess it, will you tell us what it is?
No.
God damn it.
No, I'm not
It
going to. No.
Okay,
No.
tell me
Is-
this then. Tell me this. Is it a Blu-ray or is it a 4K?
It's a Blu-ray. Yeah, that narrows
a
it down.
Is it a Halloween release or a Christmas release?
I don't know
schedule?
exactly. I'm not in charge.
Is
of
it a
whether-
zombie movie?
Is it? No. Shut up.
It's a zombie movie.
You shut up. You shut up, and you
Yeah.
shut up.
It
Is it Nightlife?
No, I wish it was. I love that
I
movie.
do too. Me too. That would be sick.
No, we're not going to do this whole guessing game shit. I'm not telling you.
Nah,
what it
it's
is.
all good.
I think I know what it is. We're
Do
gonna
you
it.
really? What is it?
Night of the Living Dead 90.
Not from them.
That shit's coming. We already know that's
We
coming
already
out.
know
No,
that.
that's,
Said that
that's
before.
Scream Factory in it.
No.
Yeah. Who's putting
Sony.
that shit out then?
Sony
Oh,
will be doing it at some point.
Oh, that is coming back out again because
At some point.
who did it where the color was all different? Was it
That was
Twilight
Twilight
Time?
Time.
Oh yeah,
Twilight
yeah,
Time.
remember that.
Is it Hack-A-Lantern?
Hack a lantern.
Oh, I like
I like
Hack-A-Lantern, actually.
Hack a Lantern too.
Yeah.
You sure it's not Hack-A-Lantern?
No, it's not hack a lantern.
Uh,
Okay,
checking.
this is gonna. We're done.
All right, boys, but we appreciate
Thanks, man.
everybody joining in and everything. And Garrett, what do you got coming up? I know you make appearances on shows throughout the week usually, but you got some stuff on your own channel too, right?
Yeah, actually, Slip would appreciate this. I have a little series that I'm doing called Anchor Bay Archives, where I talk about some of the cool Anchor Bay releases. And here's
God.
actually the one I'm going to be talking about on the new one. Is going to be this cool Heather's
Oh, yeah.
locker set.
Yeah.
So that's going to be the next episode. I'm going to take it out, show everybody what's in there and my memories of it, because that's like a $500 set now if you have it.
Is it that
complete
much
in
really?
fact. Yeah, on
Really?
eBay, yeah.
Jesus
Mhm.
Christ.
So, you guys were just putting out some killer editions, and I think it really just spun off into what a lot of these companies are doing now, and some of them still haven't been touched. Like I have some really cool sets that I'm going to bring to the table and stuff at some point. But
That's cool.
Yeah, so that's
Anything
like
that
the big one.
Celebrates the old Anchor Bay days. That would be great.
oh man, Yeah, for sure. I mean, they really were the pioneers, I think, when it came to like the horror, and some of these boutique labels I don't even think would be a thing if it wasn't for people like Anchor Bay. So
They did. I keep it. It's weird to talk about them as if they were a long time ago, but they were.
right.
It was 20 years ago for me when and that's hard to accept. It's just
It's
like,
crazy,
Jesus
yeah.
Christ.
I mean, I think their first horror DVD releases, we were still in high school.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Halloween, Dawn of the Dead, the flipper of the Dawn of the Dead, and
Yeah, like 1997, 1998.
yeah,
some of those.
they were one of the early adopting companies. They came in. They were one of the first independent companies to embrace it. And those DVDs weren't great, but they, hey, it's
It was 1997.
1997. No one knew what the fuck they were doing yet.
I just bought on eBay. Wes was I never seen that Night of the Living Dead edition, that 30th anniversary that they changed it. Remember we talked about that? I just bought it on eBay. Like it's like numbered and stuff. It's like a big numbered one. I've never seen that version, but I'm so curious about it because I didn't even know that existed. Like I had Living Dead in multiple DVDs and I didn't realize. I just figured that was just seeing it again.
I can't wait to hear what you think about it.
I'm gonna have to watch it. Let you guys know.
All right, guys.
Was that not a good? Was that not a good day, Slippy?
We've lost Felsher here.
He's gone.
That's a good way to end it.
Yeah. All right. Come on, Felsher. Elm Street. When's it coming? He's froze.
You know what though? I think
Man,
you gotta let Slippy promote his stuff because Chris would be bullshit if he doesn't. So let him go do his thing.
Yeah, what do you got a
Yeah,
podcast
Slippy.
now, Felsher, don't you? It's spooky.
Trick or Treat's coming later this year. My Best Friend is a Vampire just came out from Vestron.
Vampire.
Thank you.
Mhm.
And then
Daggone!
Daggone, boys, it's a vampire over there.
Daggone. Yeah, that's really all I've got to say.
How about your podcast?
Yeah.
You want to talk about that?
Oh yeah, I would get yelled at if I didn't talk about the
Yeah.
Spooky Picture Show, which co-hosts with Kevin Ellis, Chris McGibbon, and Melanie Mullen. And we just had an episode up the other week and have one out every month pretty much. And so keep listening for that because, those people don't bug me every single week or asking me about what fucking 4Ks are coming up. And
No,
They already
because you
know,
probably
that's
already
why.
told them.
Yeah, they already know.
they can't keep a secret. I can't tell them anything. No. I would. And also,
know
they
for-
wouldn't care. They don't.
Chris
know.
knew about Trick or Treat before I did. I know that for a fact.
Well, yeah, of course he knew about Trick or Treat because, and
'Cause,
I was gonna break the news about Trick or Treat on this show, but he yelled at me and said, "We have a podcast. You break it here."
Shit. He makes a good point. I mean,
He did. It was a good point, but at the same time, I was fighting. It's like, no, Dead Pit. They've been asking me about this for years, and I've been going. I was like, no, you have a podcast
That is
over
funny.
here. And it's just like, all right, fine, I'll do it on our podcast.
Oh, I love
Jesus Christ.
We're at 194 people. We appreciate everybody tuning in and everything, and like both the streams. Subscribe to both the streams because we're going to be doing more of these giveaways for sure. I think it worked. I was just scared it wasn't going to work.
I thought it was cool. I mean, I'd like to do more of those for sure. It's an easy way to do it. It gets people involved, and it's better than having to like go back and check out all the comments and find the person that
Yeah,
won and contact
I
them.
tell you what,
easy.
Slippy, when Bruiser and the Nightmare on Elm Street box set comes out, you give us a couple of those. We'll give them away on here if you want.
Yeah, Trick or Treat too. We should be getting like multiple copies of Trick or Treat to give away and review and stuff.
I mean, I think that you should be sent Trick or Treat. I think you should be sent the Vestron releases.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
agree.
we don't get shit from Vestron.
That comes
Not with
out.
that attitude, you don't.
Yeah, maybe we can come up with something. Maybe you can give us in to get some of these
Hey.
to review early.
Maybe
Hey,
you
you
can
think-
talk about sending.
We shit in the box. You think that?
Yeah, maybe you can talk about shit. Some
That
shit
was,
in the
the,
box.
that was another company. Plus, that motherfucker's
Vestron.
gone now, so we should be good with him.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
true. We
Yeah,
should be
should we
fine.
I'm going
Yeah.
to shit in the box and mail it to him.
So long,
He's at-
Jeffy.
He's that Vestron now, and
Listen.
he's at Lionsgate. He's like, nah, I get nothing.
No, he didn't just say he was going to shit in a box and mail it to him. He wanted everybody to shit in a box and mail it
Yeah.
to him.
Send
That's
it
a
right
great part about it.
We should all shit in the box and face it.
A mass shitting. is
He
what
was really
wanted.
upset about that too. I'm so offended by this.
Well, see, he's gone now, so we're
Yeah.
good. Cliff,
Oh,
us
what a
and
douche.
Cliff are like, we're good.
Yeah.
Ugh.
But you don't shit.
He Cliff likes us.
They've got rubber gloves as they open every one. That like,
God, that made me laugh so fucking hard. Oh God, yeah, that was funny. I'm gonna shit in the box.
Yeah, because like they were really offended too, which is
Oh, they
great.
were. He was really pissed. And
Yeah,
I was
he
just
never-
like,
So great.
it was
They
just
never
like,
got a review copy again after that.
No, and I was well, yeah. It's just like, wow, way to burn a bridge and
What's
shit on
funny is
Hey,
didn't we,
Slippy.
didn't we
I
meet
mean-
those guys at
Yeah, we did.
Whorehound that time or
it.
something?
Yeah. Yeah,
Real
that
quick,
was
do
before
you-
the
Little
shit
did they
in the box.
know. Yeah. What was
Yeah.
Do
that?
you
that was-
remember exactly what he said? Like after he heard that? I mean, do you remember anything
I just
about
remember
it?
he
Per
was
se?
just very offended by it.
Troublemakers,
It's so
you.
great.
As far as we know, nobody sent shit in. But
I miss him already.
Everybody out there, follow my lead. Get the box and mail it to him.
Little do you know, it's like half the night breeds got thrown away before they even got open.
That would have been the
Just
worst.
might have some in there.
That would have been the worst mail day ever. It's like, wow, we sure got a lot of returns on these.
Everyone that came back from Kentucky just got automatically thrown away.
It's like,
Didn't even get looked at.
and that's another
Like,
one where
oh,
the
this
camera
is a
pans up.
suspicious-
Dead pig!
it's a neighboring state to Kentucky. They're like, oh, they could have just drove a little while and seen it.
That's funny.
All
All
right.
right, I gotta go.
Yeah, he's got shit.
All right,
Thanks, dude,
guys, we
for coming on,
appreciate you. And next thing we got coming up is a week from tonight. We are doing the story of Steelbooks, boys. So this is going to be interesting. We're taking advantage of these physical media people, aren't we, Uncle Bill? We're going to tell them the history of the Steelbook.
Right. A lot of people that enjoy these kind of shows, and Slippy, you could probably help us with that one. Come
No.
on here and talk about Steelbooks.
He's had enough of us for a while.
I've
Do you-
really had enough.
Do
I
you
gotta
guys
take-
know?
There's short bursts with you guys. It really is. It has to be kind of like these
Every 6
controls.
months or so.
Yeah, every 6 months, and then I have to recuperate for a while, and then because my ego takes a beating here whenever I come here. It's just
Did you find what the first Steelbook release in the U.S. was?
I did.
See, like I know which one I had, and I'd never heard of a Steelbook before, and I wonder if it's the one or not.
I can
Was
tell
it
you the
horror
d-
or no?
No, I can tell you the date, which is crazy, but I'll save the actual title for
Okay.
the show. It's 2004 is the first Steelbook.
Yeah, that's probably not the one I have then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first
well,
one
this
I
is
can
all.
remember
This has
is-
all been really interesting, but I need to get the fuck
He
out
said
of
he needs to
He's
go.
gotta go-
Time.
Sleepy's got to go
Stay on
poop.
here. Come on.
He's gonna go
Alright.
find that those ice cream things he likes or whatever those
here.
things
Yes,
are.
yes. I'm
All
gonna
right.
go.
All right, guys. But yeah, everybody have a good night, and we will see you all next time over at Dead Pit
.com.
and Born to be Rad.
.com.
Give us a thumbs up.
Daggone.
Like, subscribe, and if you subscribe, here's something else you can do. Once you subscribe, you can click the bell notification, right? And it'll notify you anytime that Dead Pit puts up new shit.
Or don't. I really don't give a if you do or
I
not.
want you to. I want you to.
I don't care.
Let's keep our community growing here on
No,
YouTube.
I don't like it. I don't want you to do nothing.
Listen, they need to do that, pal.
No, don't you
Yeah.
dare touch it.
Thumbs up, subscribe, and click that bell.
There's all kinds of wonderful shirts over at shop.deadpit.com. Simply the best horror shirts. On TeePublic, there are others, but they all suck. You can get some Dead Pit radio shirts. You can get Last South on the Left. The Hills Have Eyes. Texas Chainsaw. Oh, wait, you can't say Texas Chainsaw. All kinds of shirts, folks. You're gonna love them. Shop.deadpit.com.
Thank you to all of our supporters on Patreon. Dead Pit on Patreon.com is the only place to check out a complete archive of the old Dead Pit radio shows all the way back from 2005 on, in addition to the midweek shows, fan commentaries, exclusive podcasts, and much more. Dead Pit on patreon.com if you're interested. Tiers start at only $1.